finalists for the King of the Ring. We are on the road, and will Sami Zayn become the new WWE champion at Night of Champions? As I was saying it, I was like, I don't know. Night of Champions, Clash of Champions. I wasn't sure.
The Clash.
As I was saying it, I was a little
but I believe it's
uncertain.
Night of Champions.
We're here.
We are here. We are live on a Friday night.
What's up, baby? We're here. Johnny's not here. Johnny's got traveling. He's, wrestling. He's got a big match this weekend.
Big match. Still a member of the Bullet Club? Or has he been
I don't think so.
Excommunicated?
Yeah, I don't know. But, he's wrestling Marty Scurll tomorrow. So Johnny is not with us here tonight. That's not actually why he's not here, but he's preparing.
Uh-huh.
So Johnny's not with us, and you're stepping in. Thank you for
Why not?
stepping in and helping us here on the Ringside Report Network on a Friday night. Good to be with you.
My pleasure.
A lot of pro wrestling to discuss. We have Jey Uso defeating Javon Evans just moments ago to qualify for the King of the Ring finals. So it will be Jey Uso in the King of the Ring finals versus Oba Femi. Oba. He qualified for the King of the Ring finals by beating Dominic Mysterio in the semifinals, which was an interesting match in that Raw main event this week, where Oba just beat up Dominic. Just
it was a dominant fashion.
It was a squash, basically. He squashed Dom and JD. Oba brought JD in the ring too, and at one point he's got JD in one corner, he's got Dom in the other. He's like beating them both up, back and forth. It was really just a destruction from Oba Femi, and you go, well, yeah, of course, but like, it was a little surprising because I don't know. I kind of thought Dom might sneakily pull it off. I thought maybe Brock Lesnar would show up, and Oba addressed this after the match with a promo saying, Brock Lesnar, I thought you would come out and try and get me tonight. I've been waiting for you, and now I'm going to the King of the Ring finals, so forget about you. And that feels like, okay, well, maybe Brock will show up at the King of the Ring finals. It was an odd promo from Oba to kind of win this, say I'm going to the King of the Ring and I'm going to win King of the Ring, but also say, hey, Brock, I thought you were going to stop me from doing this, which is kind of what we all thought. We all thought at some point on Raw, either in the Fatal 4-Way that Oba wound up winning, or in the semifinal match against Dom that Oba wound up winning, that Brock Lesnar might show up and set up a match for that Clash of Champions in Saudi Arabia next week. Night of Champions. I say Clash of Champions. See, Clash of Champions was something else. But, we thought Brock would show up at some point and maybe set up a match like the trilogy match with Oba for that, but it's, no. But now, especially because Oba did that whole promo tonight, you go, okay, well, maybe at Night of Champions, Brock will show up and cost Oba the King of the Ring, and then
wins.
Set up a match with Oba for SummerSlam.
And Jey Uso wins to face Roman Reigns at or Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. Or whoever, maybe not.
Or, in the ultimate twist of it's all about the bloodline, Sami Zayn.
That would be an interesting kind of callback,
Yeah, Jey Uso.
They have unresolved, they used to have beef back in those, I think Jey Uso was, very resistant to having Sami Zayn join along with the bloodline back in the day, and Sami had to work hard to win him over.
Yes.
So, it would be kind of poetic.
It would be, kind of coming full circle in a way. It'd be an interesting match, especially with Sami's history with the bloodline and Roman trying to bring the band back together right now.
Yeah.
Roman is trying to bring it all back. He's trying to get Solo back with the team. And Solo is resisting Jacob Fatu's advances. We saw Jacob Fatu tonight again asking Solo to come back on the team. And you're cracking up because Solo said something funny.
Well, it's just his faces are just so...
Jacob was backstage with Solo. Solo's like, look, my answer is still no. I'm not going back with Roman. And Jacob says, well, Solo, you're running out of time. And Solo says, what does that even mean, Jacob?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Which was pretty good.
We did have a good laugh on that.
Which you go, yeah, what does that even mean? Because we're all wondering it. But Solo says it in like this annoyed way. Like, what the hell are you even talking about, man?
Yeah. Like,
that's just very flippant and very funny from Solo. I like the reaction from Solo Sikoa.
Wrestling could use a little bit, maybe more of that, like calling out the nonsense. You know?
Yes. And I like when Solo does it.
Yeah. The faces are over the top, but maybe it's what's required. You know, maybe I could come around to the...
Yeah.
Yeah. When he tries to be serious, so then it's like he loses me for sure.
Yeah, I think serious Solo is less effective than comedic Solo.
Yeah.
In a lot of instances. I enjoyed Solo tonight. I enjoyed everything that Solo was involved in because there's clear story direction with the Solo Sikoa character, which we haven't seen in quite some time with him. We saw some movement there tonight with Solo. Solo has already lost a couple of his team members from WWE cuts, right? Like JC Potato, formerly known as... No, Tama Tonga's still there.
Tama's still there.
And Tala Tonga's still there. But Tonga Loa got released, right? Formerly Camacho in the WWE way back.
Right.
He was Camacho. Then he was in New Japan as Tonga Loa. Then him and his brother, Tama Tonga, came over to the WWE. But Tonga Loa got released, and so did... it's weird. He was JC Mateo, but I started calling him JC Potato because I couldn't remember Mateo. And now I can't even remember what his old wrestling name was.
Jeff Cobb.
Jeff Cobb. Thank you. Very good. Talented guy. Jeff Cobb.
But
yeah,
WWE
they released him.
Just never really used.
So Solo's lost two of his guys due to releases. And he's got now Tala Tonga and Tama Tonga left in the MFTs. MFTs?
Yes.
My Family Tree.
Oof. If they can figure out a way to covertly change that name.
So he's got those two guys left, and now those two guys are even not wanting to be around Solo because they had a tag team title match tonight against R-Truth and Damian Priest, and they said, Solo, you should stay backstage. We don't want you getting involved. Solo's like, I'm going to come. I'm going to help you. This is our thing where, and they're like, your family, your business, the bloodline stuff.
Business.
It's getting involved in our business, and we don't want any part of that because if you show up, who knows who might show up. Like he's basically saying like Jacob Fatu or the Usos might show up and cause a disturbance and whatever. Solo shows up, and he winds up causing a disturbance, inadvertently. Yeah. He shows up. And Damian Priest starts going after him, yelling at him, which distracts Tala Tonga. And no, not Damian Priest doesn't go after him. Tala Tonga and Tama Tonga are just distracted by his presence alone at ringside.
What are you doing here, man?
They're like, we told you not to be here. So they're just both looking at Solo. While they do that, Damian Priest, who's the legal man, tags out to R-Truth. It was a complicated finish.
And the ref sees it. It's all official. It's just the other team isn't looking.
The other team doesn't know that Truth has become the legal man. Truth stays on the apron like he's not the legal man. Damian Priest goes out and goes to attack Tala Tonga. Yeah. But Solo pushes him out of the way, and he takes the fall for. He's trying to protect his guy. He doesn't even know that they made the tag.
That's true.
Like Solo doesn't know either. He's trying to protect his guy. He gets hit. And then they go back. Priest gets back into the ring. No. Priest.
Tama Tonga's kind of like bent over the ropes, doing like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Tala then gets Priest. I think he gets rid of Priest. He's chokeslammed him or something. And then Tama Tonga is in the ring, the legal man, looking over and seeing all of this. And then Truth, who he doesn't know is legal, but again, he's lost sight of Truth. That's really on him. You got to be aware of your opponents too. Like, come on, man. But anyways, he got rolled up. 1, 2, 3. Truth wins. Truth and Priest retain. But they're mad at Solo because Solo was there when they told him not to be there, and they got distracted by his mere presence. Which, like, again, it's such a WWE trope, and they do it so often where they go, if somebody is there at ringside, the wrestler, whoever, like most wrestlers, will lose all sight of the fact that they're in a fight. In a fight, by the way, where in the WWE rules are pretty shaky. A fight where a guy may grab like a sledgehammer and hit you over the head with it.
Yeah, the ref isn't looking.
Yet, they're not that worried about their opponents in this scenario.
Yeah.
They're worried about their team members just appearing when they told them not to.
Yeah, and this must be resolved now, not later.
Yes, we must discuss this injustice now during my fight instead of later when I'm done this terrible combat where anything can go.
Yeah.
Referees.
And lo and behold, this is when we lose the match.
Yes, and somehow they lose the match very often off some sort of distraction. So often that we've started calling it a distraction finish.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, how'd they as distraction finish? It just makes all wrestlers in the WWE look very stupid.
Yes.
And then if the wrestlers look stupid, why are we watching them? How dumb are we?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not good.
Yeah, if everyone just, when the music plays, they all go, huh?
Yeah.
It's like...
It's just the lack of real finishes in the WWE. For example, the opening match, which was the WWE Championship match between Gunther and Cody Rhodes. Just another example of the WWE not really giving us a finish. You have this setup where it's like, okay, it's Gunther, it's Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn is the special referee. Something's got to give. There's got to be a winner. Maybe Gunther's going to be the champion. Maybe Cody will win, but like Sami's there. There's going to be maybe a screwy finish, but there'll be some sort of real finish. And Sami's getting into it with Cody. He's getting into it with Gunther. There's pushing. There's shoving. There's all sorts of stuff going on. A lot of shenanigans. And then it comes to a point where Gunther... Hang on. What happened here?
Yeah, that's also...
So Cody hit the crossroads, but then Gunther's foot was under the ropes, so Sami stopped the count, which is how Cody beat Gunther with the foot under the ropes at the last PLE there, whatever it was.
With a clash and...
Another clash. So many clashes.
Clash in Paris?
Yeah, probably. So, yeah, and then so Sami stopped the count, and then Cody was mad that he did that and got in Cody's face, or Sami's face, but then kind of pushed Sami, and Sami pushed him back. And then Cody, as he fell back, got put in the sleeper hold from Gunther. And it looked like Cody was going to get choked out, and this was going to be how Cody was going to lose the belt, which was kind of a cool... It was a nice little moment there. It was a good false finish. But Cody got to the ropes, and Sami is telling Gunther to break. He doesn't break, so Sami starts pulling Gunther off of him. Gunther doesn't like this. He gets mad at Sami, and he just powerbombs Sami.
Yeah.
Which should have just been a disqualification right there. The match should have
I
just...
thought it was going to be.
Yeah, because if you powerbomb the referee, you're disqualified, and Sami...
Traditionally.
Was the referee, but no. Like, even the WWE, they were like, send another ref out there.
Yeah, this ain't over.
They're like, what? So Gunther has powerbombed Sami Zayn. Cody then takes control of Gunther, hits another crossroads. Another referee, like a real referee, comes out, counts 1, 2, but Gunther kicks out. Gunther then hits a powerbomb on Cody and goes for the cover. And the ref goes, and it looks like it's over because he hits like a shotgun dropkick into the powerbomb. 1, 2, but then Sami pulls the referee out of the ring.
Ref takes a nice bump there on his face.
Which is like, what? Sammy's mad because Gunther powerbombed him, so we stop in Gunther. So all of this, makes sense. The ref bumps on his face outside the ring. And Cody then goes for a sunset flip on Gunther, and he's like pulling him, and Gunther's holding onto the ropes to not get rolled over. And Sammy kicks Gunther's arms. Gunther goes flying, and Sammy goes 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Super fast count. Gunther's mad. Everybody's mad. Sammy's like, whatever, that's what you get, Gunther. And then Nick Aldis, who's the general manager, he's mad. And they decide to restart the match. And when they restart the match, they wrestle for a bit. So there was like a non-finish, a screwy Sami Zayn fast count where Cody retains the title but didn't really beat Gunther. Gunther didn't really lose. So what have we learned? And then Gunther wrestles Cody again.
Yeah,
they send them back out.
Restart it.
And then Sammy comes out during the match because of course he does, and he attacks Gunther. And then he accidentally hits Cody with the belt, and Nick Aldis is all mad again. And then later on, Cody requests a triple threat to settle it at Night of Champions, and Nick Aldis agrees. So it will be a triple threat: Cody, Sammy, Gunther, Night of Champions for the WWE Championship. But this took like 40 minutes for
with the video package at the start.
It was like the first
entrances, announcing because it's a championship match.
It was most of the first hour of SmackDown was dedicated to this,
and the restart, the backstage promo, replay of the finishes. Just at least the first hour it was on and on and on
and on and on.
Still going, this asshole.
Exactly, like it just kept going on, and they never really gave us anything except for, oh, well, there's going to be another match. Now we set up the next match. It's like, okay, well, are you going to give us anything in that one? And this is what WWE is consistently doing. They kind of give you nothing, but they set up the next match while not giving you like a satisfying result ever.
It's kind of like how house show finishes used to be, because house show matches would always be, hey, this match is for the WWE title, but would often end like a DQ, screwy kind of finish. That,
well, that's it.
And then like there'd be a big schmoz, and the babyface would say,
or the champion would just flat out retain in a clean finish, because that's how it was. Like, it does feel like everything is a house show where like nothing ever happens. They have these title matches, and you're like, yeah, right. Who cares? Like,
okay, it's cool, but really.
And when there is a title change, it's like, yes, we know it's going to happen. This is the night where it's probably going to go down, or somebody gets hurt and they have to give up the belt a lot of the times. Ooh, Charlotte going out for her semifinal match for Queen of the Ring, but is getting attacked backstage.
Oh, good God Almighty!
Oh man, that was a rough kick on Charlotte's leg by Jade Cargill.
Where's Alexa? Did she get knocked down?
I don't know where she is, but Charlotte was about to go have her match with Io.
In her robe.
But Jade Cargill and
Liv Morgan.
Oh, Liv Morgan. Yeah, sorry. Jade Cargill and her evil friends just attacked Charlotte backstage. So
Charlotte's starting with orange leg health. That's not good.
Yeah. Io is in the finals, though. It'll be Io Sky versus the winner of this. Io beat Raquel
likely Liv Morgan.
Io beat Raquel Rodriguez on Raw this week to make it to the finals. So it'll be Liv Morgan and Charlotte Flair, which is the main event of SmackDown coming up. The winner will face Io Sky in the Queen of the Ring finals at Night of Champions, with the winner getting a title shot at SummerSlam. We just saw a little bit of a backstage confrontation between Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. Of course, Roman Reigns is the world champion, and he has sent his cousin Jey Uso on a mission to take the WWE Championship from Cody Rhodes so that the Bloodline can, reign supreme, take over all of the WWE. He says, I'm the head of the table, but there's two ends to the table. But he's kind of saying, like, there's the head and then there's another head of the table. But really, wouldn't it be like the head and the butt of the table? If you're sitting at the, like, is there one head of the table or is there two? If you're sitting at one end of the table, you're sitting at the other. Are you both sitting at the head of the table?
Think technically, you're both sitting.
You're both sitting at the heads of the table.
Yeah.
What's the long part of the table called? The body of the table?
I don't know.
Does it?
The ends.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know, some English
term.
It
doesn't matter what it's called.
Old English.
Anyways, so he wants Jey Uso to do this, and like they're turning the whole show about the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Like both shows are about Bloodline and Bloodline Business and Samoan Dynasties and Ulafalas and Ufalafas. But it did get interesting this week on Raw. Did you see what happened on Raw?
Not really.
Eric Andre?
Oh yeah, that did happen.
Jacob
got involved.
Jacob Fatu beat the
This is
hell out
amazing.
of Eric Andre on Raw this week. Eric Andre is really spicing up the Bloodline business. Let me tell you, brother. Did you see Eric Andre? There was a clip of him.
He took some bumps.
I think I could probably even show it. He refused to wear a Roman Reigns shirt. Yeah, I think I could show this.
Oh yeah. I
Did
saw
you see
this.
this?
Yeah, this I saw. And someone put it on a Roman Reigns shirt. He's like, "Oh no!" It's got a Netflix movie. Him and John Cena.
Yeah, him and John Cena are in a movie together.
I think they're brothers somehow.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
That sounds.
Eric Andre and John Cena.
It sounds like a good team up.
Is this why Eric Andre is getting involved with WWE? Because he's doing a movie with John Cena?
Yeah, Netflix.
Hang on a second. Let me just do something here. I'll be right back.
Is it
with
in the
this.
vein of Eric Andre? What was it? Bad Trip? Is this like Bad Trip?
Ooh, I don't think so.
Is John Cena doing
Bad
pranks
Trip
on
was
people?
crazy.
Amazing.
If you haven't seen Bad Trip, go see Bad Trip. It was so
It's still
good.
on Netflix.
Yeah, it's still on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
My God, that was good. Hold on, I think I can play this with sound even. Ba-ba-ba-da.
And who was it? Was it Tiffany Haddish?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Insane
And
Lil Rel.
oh.
Harry. Whoa.
I mean, that's fantastic.
That's a classic Eric Andre. He takes it back off. See that?
I love it.
Eric Andre.
This is-
it's perfect combination. Eric Andre in wrestling
Yes.
is very similar.
Yeah, he's perfect.
How has this not happened sooner?
You know, I'm pretty sure that I've talked about Eric Andre being involved in wrestling before. I'm pretty sure that, at some point during the history of Wrestling Uncensored, when we've talked about celebrities getting involved in WWE, I said, why don't they have Eric Andre?
Yeah.
Eric Andre is built for this.
Starts every show by taking a big elbow drop to his desk.
Yeah, exactly. He crashes through every set. He goes through tables as the intro to every episode of his show. He's always just breaking furniture, and he's reckless with his body. He's hilarious. He is a perfect celebrity to be involved with pro wrestling, and I really hope that this is leading to more. I want to see more. Because Roman did this whole thing with Jacob Fatu, and he gave him his own Ula Fala, and they were walking out, the Bloodline all tough, and Eric Andre was there, and he was in the front row just watching. Roman had, kind of pointed at him on his entrance, and then when they're leaving, he's saying hi to the Bloodline, and Jacob comes by, and Eric's like, oh, cool, what's this? And he, kind of taps the Ula Fala and slaps Jacob, and Jacob's like, "Urgh!" And he grabs him, and he throws him
I
over.
saw. It looked like he landed on his shoulder.
And then he brings him in the ring, and he's like, and they're all trying to stop him. There's all sorts of security and agents and stuff. And then Roman is there, and you think Roman's going to tell him, stop, but he's like, get him, which was great. And then Jacob does a moonsault on him, and then I think he did another moonsault. He hit him with a couple top rope maneuvers. It was Roman telling him do it again, do it again. It was
pretty fantastic.
It was pretty great. I loved seeing it. I laughed very hard. I love just seeing Eric Andre, because Roman's doing this serious entrance, and then he looks over and he's looking at somebody. And then the camera pans over, and it's Eric Andre, and he's like, "Ah!" And it's so funny.
You can't not smile.
Well, that's it, because it was so serious. Roman's all him all trying to look cool, and then Eric Andre is just going nuts in the front row, and I'm like, oh, it's Eric Andre.
Ranch.
Bird Up.
The worst show on television.
The worst. This is Bird Up, the worst show on TV.
Oh, man.
This is Snail Down, the best show on TV.
Snail Down. Do, do, do.
Hannibal Burgers.
Oh, my goodness. Sam was going to Japan.
The Eric Andre show was great. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
people haven't seen it, but I love Eric Andre.
It kind of got like a bit close to the mainstream there for a bit, but maybe not. Who
I don't know.
knows?
It was really good. I know a lot of people that have seen it and a lot of people that have never heard of it.
Do you have
so
like a
you never know.
favorite like interview?
Ooh,
I think I got one.
I mean, Lauren Conrad was pretty classic, you know?
Yeah.
Where Hannibal's like, I think that's where he says you got to eat the lettuce. You got to just straight up eat the lettuce, where he's just eating a head of lettuce, which is pretty good. And then he goes, "You ever?"
Strawberries.
And then Hannibal goes, "You ever listen to Waka Flocka?" And she's like, "I think so. Is that a band?" And he's like, "No, it's a man." Waka Flocka. I go hard in the motherfucking pit. Like he starts doing it. I don't know. That was a good one. Lauren Conrad was a classic.
I liked Jack Black. It kind of tortures him.
Yeah, that was good, but he was kind of down for it.
But like
I like the
they
ones
kind
that-
of like made
where
it
they
a bit
don't
harder
know.
on him. Like they shock him and they do some stuff.
I
where
like
he
the
just
Jimmy Kimmel one was good too, where his
Yeah.
chair was like moving because it was like a. I think it was Jimmy's son who was like an intern on the show who was like moving the chair under his dad. Pretty funny.
The Jillians, Jillian Barbary.
Yeah, Jillian Barbary, Jillian Barbary.
And then when he has Jillian Michaels on, like I love how he starts by going, "We had another Jillian on. It was
crazy.
Because that kind of continuity of like just silliness. You
Oh,
know?
what a good show.
Good, yeah.
So, yeah, I love Eric Andre. As you can tell, we love him. So, very happy to see him on Raw. And he got beat up by Jacob Fatu, which is
Yeah.
great. You know, he's like a Jackass type guy. I think he was in the last Jackass movie.
He was.
So, yeah,
That
he's
was pretty cool.
the Jackass guys are good for wrestling. And Eric Andre, I think, would be perfect. But there was like a lot of Bloodline stuff going on Raw. Like LA Knight is getting into it with the Usos and Jacob Fatu just beat up LA Knight.
That guy just getting no
And Roman
favors.
basically sent them to do it. Roman is backstage talking to a guy, and he's like, "Okay, make sure that the food's on the truck, and then the food's on the jet, so it's ready." And the guy's like, okay. He's like taking notes for Roman. And then like the Usos show up and Roman's like, "Leave us," you know? And it's like, this is your top babyface?
Yeah, is he?
Well, this is the thing that I'm saying every week, and I want to keep saying it because eventually when it's, apparent,
Yeah, 'cause it feels very heel.
I want a little credit here.
Feels kind of like
Because
a heel
he's
faction.
such a heel. He's such a heel. I'm starting to really get annoyed with like, oh man, it's like the Bloodline is doing everything. It's all about them. It's like the whole show's about them, and it's so like ridiculous. And now that Jey Uso is going to the King of the Ring finals and like may win, people I think are gonna start to really turn on them, and with good reason. Like you look at LA Knight, he's a babyface. He's complaining about Roman and the Bloodline and how they used to do things, and they're doing things like that again. Roman got the Usos back with him. He's like, "I need you." He wins the belt, and what does he do? He gets the Usos back with him. And then they enlist Jacob, and now he wants Solo back. Like, he wants everybody back in the fold to do things like they were when they were the top heel faction, running over everybody and just running everything. And the fans are still like in this OTC mode where they're cheering him because he comes out. It's cool. It's Roman. He's going to get a pop because you haven't seen Roman Reigns in a long time.
He's
and you're
a
going to.
star.
Yeah, that's it. He's a legit star. He's, one of the top guys in the business. So people are going to pop for him. But I just wonder when they're going to start booing him because I think it's coming, but I don't know when,
Yeah.
because they beat up LA Knight in Baltimore, where he's from.
Yeah, he's from Hagerstown.
Yeah, he's
it's not
from
far away.
Maryland. Like, he's from Baltimore. He cut this nice promo on Raw, talked about he needed to come to Baltimore. He needed to come home. I needed to get to Baltimore. I was here, but I need to get to Baltimore. It's a good promo from LA Knight on Raw. And then, the Usos come out. Well, Jimmy comes out. He's like, because Roman's like, "You got to handle LA Knight." And Jimmy's like, "Let me talk to him." So Jimmy goes and he tries to talk to him, and And then Jay comes out, and he's a little more fiery, and, you know, there's some accidental, like Jimmy gets into it with LA, and then LA starts beating up on, or Jay gets into it with LA, and they start fighting a little bit, and LA gets the better of him, and then Jimmy's like, well, Jimmy's trying to make peace with LA, but now that he's beating up his brother, now he starts fighting LA, and then LA's fighting him, and then here comes Jacob, and now they're all beating up LA Knight, and it's a 3-on-1 beatdown of a beloved babyface who's like this underdog who's always on the cusp of getting something but never quite there.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, the Usos got booed, but they didn't get, like, nuclear heat that you would expect for a hometown guy getting beat up 3-on-1 by this heel group, and it's because they're not really positioned as an outright heel group. There's still kind of this tweener in between heel
benefit
babyface.
Of the doubt. They're trying to smooth things over, but tempers flare.
Because they're like, no, we're not going back to our old ways. We're not doing all that. But they're just saying that when in reality, in action, it's just the same Bloodline stuff except without Sammy and Paul Heyman. For now, right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, who knows? But I mean, is the wise man really going to hang out with like Austin Theory and Logan Paul once Braun Breaker kind of steps away from him? Because Braun Breaker has already said,
what's the backup plan there?
He told Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, he's like, I didn't need you. I didn't need to learn anything from you. I needed him. I needed Paul Heyman. I need to learn from him. But once he's done learning from him, you figure he's going to toss him aside too and whatever. But you know, I could see Heyman reuniting with those guys. He's always referred to Roman as his tribal chief, even though, like, even after. He still loves Roman, you know? So I think that relationship could continue. And who knows, with this whole Sami Zayn thing, like, Sami Zayn now being involved in the WWE Championship match against Cody and Gunther in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions next week is interesting. It's a turn of events that I didn't really see coming. Like, I didn't think Sammy was going to get a title shot at Night of Champions.
He's suddenly been, like, really into this picture.
Yeah, well, he's been in it.
Yeah, like,
you know?
But he's been steadily getting heat, and I'm saying, like, it feels like he's the one of the three wrestlers who's got the most momentum.
A little bit, because he's got this character change. Because Gunther's basically been the same. Yeah. Cody's basically been the same. But Sammy is starting to shift his direction. And it's not really clear what his direction is. Like, what?
He's like, hey, you guys should be cheering me right now.
You guys should be cheering me, but you're not. So he's a heel?
Yeah.
But then in Saudi Arabia, they're going to be cheering for him because he always gets a huge reaction in Saudi Arabia. He speaks Arabic, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
So he speaks to them, and they love that. He's the only guy on the roster.
Traditional dress. And
yeah, that's it. He comes out in the, I don't know what it's called, but you know, the traditional stuff that they wear over there, and he speaks to them in their language, which, you know, any audience is going to appreciate. So they love Sammy over there, which leads me to believe it's a real possibility that Sami Zayn does win the WWE Championship
for the first time.
For the first time. Sammy finally wins next week, or Cody just wins and we move on. Like, it's a glorified house show. Cody retains. He pins Sammy off of Gunther something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could happen. But it could be a way for the summer program. You know, like Sammy being champion, you know, through till SummerSlam or a bit before on a random SmackDown if they want to change the belt back. You know, it'd be a big moment. You could have a program with Gunther afterwards if there's some kind of controversy, which there's likely going to be some kind of, like, screwy kind of finish.
And then it could also be, like, you could do a lot of story building because this match is happening June 27th, right?
Yeah.
Say Jey Uso wins King of the Ring, which he very well could. But also Oba Femi could win King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Like, he could.
I'm expecting a Brock run-in at
But we've been expecting it the whole time.
But then now it's going to finally happen when it matters, like, the most.
Or Oba Femi's going to wrestle Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, which would be pretty damn cool.
It would be cool.
Because people would be like, oh.
Are they
That would really, just booking that match would get a lot of interest. It would go, oh, okay, because Roman Roman is not focused on King of the Ring as far as one of these guys may challenge me.
Yeah.
He's solely focused on King of the Ring in the respect of Jey Uso, my cousin, has to win this and then go take the title from Cody so we could both be champions.
He's my ringer.
And that's been like his whole story and his whole focus going in. If they all of a sudden, when, the reality of the situation is Oba Femi is here, Oba Femi is big and dangerous, and Oba Femi could win the thing and challenge Roman Reigns and go up against Roman at SummerSlam.
Because it's a big match.
Because if Oba Femi does win King of the Ring, he's probably not challenging Cody or whoever's on SmackDown. Like, Oba's on Raw. Roman's like a heel, babyface, whatever he is.
And, got a lot of goons.
He would be the logical opponent for Oba if Oba wins King of the Ring.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, a lot of the WWE fans are going, whoa, okay, you see Oba, he's this unstoppable force. Roman Reigns, immovable object. SummerSlam.
2-night event.
World title on the line. Oba versus Roman.
Main event night 2 right there.
It's pretty big.
I feel like they'd book Roman to win, like, after a lot of, like, Jacob Fatu. After fighting off the Usos, Jacob kind of does something, but I don't know.
But you could build several weeks and months, because I'm talking about June 28th. SummerSlam's August 1st and 2nd. So you've got an entire month of July to build Oba as a guy who's just going through the bloodline. He beats Jey Uso at SummerSlam, and then, say, beats Jacob Fatu at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
And then, you believe in it.
Yeah, just knocking them off one by one.
And he also he beats up Roman Reigns every chance he gets on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, that should happen.
Like, leaves Roman laying
power bombs
over and over again. Maybe once or twice the Bloodline crew gets the better of Oba because of the numbers. But, maybe Oba just smashes through them and you start to go, ooh, is Oba going to be a world champion? And again, like, you think Roman will win, and sure, but it wouldn't be a terrible move to have Oba beat Roman at SummerSlam and position him as one of the next top guys in the wrestling business.
They got to do it,
Roman's 40 and Oba's what, 28?
Yeah. In light of that fact, like, you got to establish him.
Oba Femi is 28 years old. Roman Reigns is 40 years old. Building for the future is not a bad idea. So, I think you have a lot of options. But on the flip side of the coin with King of the Ring, with Jey Uso now in the finals, you could do a lot of Jey Uso going up against Cody Rhodes and that whole Bloodline Cody Rhodes history thing. Jey Uso Gunther.
Yeah, which
also a lot of Jey Uso Gunther history thing.
Many times.
Roman telling him, look, you got to beat him now. You got to put him behind you. All this stuff. And Gunther against the Bloodline is interesting because, again, the Bloodline, like I said, they're doing heelish things, but they're still kind of positioned as baby faces. So them going up against Gunther as kind of in-betweeners, that could work against a heel Gunther. And then Sami Zayn, if he comes out of Night of Champions as WWE Champion, there's a ton of history between Roman, the Bloodline, Jey Uso, and if Jey Uso goes up and wins King of the Ring, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, SummerSlam, I think is a big match that you could work towards for the WWE title.
Yeah.
A big match.
A lot of interesting promos.
I think there's a lot of options here. And I'm not sure where they're going. But the finals of Oba Femi, Jey Uso for King of the Ring, with the winner getting a SummerSlam title shot, that is a very solid match and a very good King of the Ring final, especially because they just booked this triple threat for the WWE title with Cody and Sami and Gunther, who all have stories with Jey Uso. If Jey Uso wins, and then Oba Femi on the flip side, him against Roman, I think is a mega match that could main event SummerSlam, WrestleMania, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that's a big match.
So, either way, you have good, a cool SummerSlam setup. But quite frankly, Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, doesn't do much for me.
No. Jey Uso Gunther.
Gunther also doesn't do much for me. Like, you could see where.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
Could ride the promos right now.
Jey Uso, Sami Zayn.
It's a lot there.
Bringing
Slightly unresolved.
Bringing the history back. Just, there's a lot of meat on the bone. That, to me, would be the play creatively.
Especially with the current Sami Zayn, who's, like, not totally sympathetic.
Yeah.
It's, like, not as schmaltzy.
Which is exactly the type of Sami Zayn he was. Lost, directionless, heel, unwanted when he joined the Bloodline in the first place.
Yeah.
They didn't want him. He was just kind of hanging around them because they were like the cool guys, and he was like
taking the beatings.
And then, taking the beatings for him. And then eventually, and I predicted it long before it happened, I was like, Sammy's going to turn mega babyface off this. And he did.
Main event to WrestleMania.
Yeah, because he was like the guy that nobody wanted. And eventually that guy, if he sticks around long enough, is going to be, the hero for the group. And he was. And they could really do something there where, they say, Sammy, come back into the fold, whatever, like, it doesn't have to be this way, Sammy, like Roman can, doesn't have to be like this, Sammy. We were family once, remember, Like, they could do a lot of that stuff, which they love doing.
Oh, yeah.
And, I don't know, man. I think there's a lot, but all those options are fine, and if you're going to go with Jey Uso and you're going to do everything about the Bloodline, I think it's better if it's Sammy winning. However, I think the most exciting match that you could put together off this King of the Ring would still be Oba versus Roman.
Yeah, because
like
Roman
if you had to
is
choose,
the big dog, and Oba seems like he's got a lot of momentum and. Like he seems plausible as like a champion material.
Then again,
very quickly,
long term, if they are wanting to turn the Bloodline into a heel group, having Jey Uso win would frustrate the audience and cause a lot of them to boo.
Yeah, because
I think we're hitting on something here where we'd be kind of like, oh, Jey Uso won King of the Ring
again.
Oh,
this guy.
Like people, I remember when Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble, a lot of people were happy. But now, in hindsight, a lot of people are mad that Jey Uso had won the Royal Rumble.
It was the worst thing that they could do.
Yeah, people say it was the worst Rumble winner and all this stuff. And I, at the time, thought, this is a weird one. This is not a great one.
This will be kind of one of those,
But I remember the public sentiment was, very happy. But eventually, it did turn. And I think that if you add a Jey Uso King of the Ring win, when Roman's already the world champion on Raw, and then Jey Uso is going for the WWE title, and it's all about the Bloodline and what they can do at SummerSlam, I think the audience starts to go, enough with these guys already.
I guess what they want as their reaction.
Well, but is it? You would think it is because they keep doing heelish things to like LA Knight, but do they think that LA Knight is just such an inconsequential babyface that he could just be, cannon fodder for the Bloodline and it doesn't really matter?
I think so.
Do you
I think that's how they value.
Is that it?
I think that's how they value LA Knight. Much to the frustration of a lot of people and seemingly on LA Knight's face.
Well, this is what I'm trying to figure out because WWE often is like they do things accidentally. Like you watch these characters and you're like, this is all something that a heel would be doing, but it's a babyface. And they never address it, and I go, are they turning them heel? And it's like, no, they're not. That's just, we don't really get it. Is that what's going on with the Bloodline, or is it part of a larger plan to actually turn them heel down the road? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I feel like with the Bloodline, they take more care into the stories and what their long-term plans are. So the fact that they're doing all this stuff to LA Knight and Roman is still rude to the underlings makes me think like, they are turning them heel. It's just like the audience hasn't quite caught on yet.
Yeah, because there's this
Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair has been selling her knee after the attack from Jade Cargill and her friends. She is still wrestling Liv Morgan for the Queen of the Ring semifinals. But she's getting checked on by doctors now outside the ring, and Alexa Bliss is there, and Nick Aldis is there begging her to stop wrestling. And here is Liv Morgan dragging Charlotte back in the ring. Charlotte I guess, is going to lose. Is this going to lead to... You know what's really interesting is that Bliss is there. All these people are there.
Here comes that to the whatever.
Where's the Judgment Day?
Oblivion? Yeah, Oblivion.
Mm.
Another one of those moves where she takes a nasty bump.
1, 2. Oh! Charlotte kicks out of Liv Morgan's finisher, the Oblivion. Oh, my goodness. And now Liv going again with that half crab on the injured knee of Charlotte Flair.
Oh, she's tapping.
She's tapping.
She's tapping.
She's
She's
tapping.
That was interesting.
Wow, and Liv didn't let go, and Charlotte started pulling her hair. That's unusual.
Charlotte, she lets her feelings known in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, Liv was really wrenching back on that thing.
So it's like a pull hair. It's like kind of like, hey, ease up.
Yeah, like get off me.
Yeah, I tapped.
So Charlotte taps out to a half crab. When's the last time you saw a SmackDown end with a half crab submission? Maybe
Probably
never.
Or in a similar
Maybe
angle
never.
of someone's leg hurting.
I don't know if they've ever...
I don't know if it was a half crab.
This may have been a first in the history of SmackDown. SmackDown main event ending with a half crab submission. Not even a full Boston crab.
I love a good half crab.
A half crab. I'd take a full crab. Crabs are small. Ooh, crab's legs. Some snow crab. Delish.
King crab.
Alaskan king crab?
Ooh, those are big.
Yeah, okay, so Liv Morgan beats Charlotte. The queen will not be queen of the ring.
Not this time.
It will be Liv Morgan versus Io Sky in the Queen of the Ring finals. So we've talked about the men's King of the Ring finals here. What about the women?
What about the ladies?
We've got Liv and Io.
I think Liv is going to win.
Damn. But if Liv wins, she's already champion.
Exactly. So
exactly.
They'll have another tournament on Raw to determine a challenger.
No, I think
just fill out more TV time.
I think Io has to win, doesn't she?
I don't know, because Liv has all those goons.
I feel like Io has to win and then go up against Liv Morgan at SummerSlam.
Do it again?
Or Rhea Ripley?
Oh, she'd challenge her friend.
Why would she do that, though?
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense. If anything,
it wouldn't.
Rhea probably helps Io win if Io wins.
Yeah, I don't know. The Queen of the Ring, you know how we just went through the men's?
Liv is the champ, but she's about to... I mean, she did say she's running, she wants to win, so nobody else can challenge her.
Yeah, but...
So, usually that she doesn't succeed, but maybe she does this time.
But, we just went through the men's King of the Ring, right? And there was, 10 different options for SummerSlam matches. I'm looking at the women's Queen of the Ring, and I can't think of one compelling matchup that could come out of the result. You know, what is... Because Liv Morgan is the champion, so she can't challenge herself at SummerSlam.
Like a Fight Club situation?
She could challenge Rhea Ripley and try to unify, I guess.
Yeah, she could.
She's got history with Rhea.
Yeah, a lot of history. They haven't wrestled in a while.
She beat Rhea's best friend at Queen of the Ring to get it, and then
she's a lot more
unification.
She's got goons.
But do you really want to unify? Why are we unifying? I don't see a unification. I don't see that.
No.
And then Io winning.
The women's roster is huge enough.
And then if Io wins, then what? She just wrestles Liv again for the title at SummerSlam? She beat Liv, and now she has to beat her again for the belt? That's weak.
Yeah.
Or she challenges her best friend Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown World Title
competition,
which makes very little sense. The women's Queen of the Ring, how they've booked it, is bizarre. But there's also talk that Rhea is hurt. We haven't seen Rhea in a while. Rhea was not on SmackDown tonight again.
That's true.
Wasn't on last week. Wasn't on this week.
Shoulder?
I don't know. Something. But maybe
issues there.
Maybe they're gonna have to take the title off Rhea, and Io will just become the SmackDown Women's Champion. She'll win Queen of the Ring, and then they'll announce Rhea is whatever hurt. She's got to give up the belt. Io has to wrestle somebody for the vacant championship, or you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't know. Something like that. They could do that. EO
Could
has
be.
to wrestle Jade Cargill, vacant championship, or
It's an interesting matchup.
Charlotte Flair, or whoever. You know, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't.
Yeah, but
Blake Monroe.
yeah, but I just like EO's path is either a rematch with Liv Morgan or a matchup that makes no sense against Rhea Ripley, or perhaps like another match against somebody unknown for the vacant belt if Rhea's really hurt. And then Liv's path is not wrestling at SummerSlam or unifying the belt against the SmackDown champion, whoever that may be. It's odd.
Or she has some kind of falling out with one of her goons and like winds up putting the belt on the line against them. But
Yeah,
it seems
like her and Roxanne Perez wrestle at
Yeah.
SummerSlam, and the Queen of the Ring. It's like a moot point. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's not,
Like
it's
Liv
nothing.
wins, and she's like, I don't.
Yeah. And
I'm
then
not gonna-
Roxanne's like, I should have had that opportunity.
Yeah,
and Liv's
Roxanne
like,
goes like,
shut up, Roxanne, and
Yeah.
then they start beefing.
Yeah, Roxanne's like, oh, Liv, it's good now. You can give a shot to one of us. You know.
Yeah, like you
And Liv's
said or
like-
something.
Liv's
kinda.
like, oh, I don't want to do that. And Roxanne's like, oh, you scared you can't beat us? And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, SummerSlam. You know,
Yeah.
easy. Yeah, they could do that. They could do a lot of things. If Liv wins, I guess they could just go, you know, Liv could just wrestle whoever at SummerSlam or not wrestle at all. Because Liv has been doing nothing. Like, Liv won the title and has had this kind of inter-Judgment Day stuff, doing stuff with Finn Balor, but she hasn't had any matches or feuds with anybody, any title defenses at all on Raw.
Strange.
And now she's in the Queen of the Ring, which everybody was like, why? Because the winner of this thing's supposed to get a world title shot. Rhea Ripley's not in Queen of the Ring. Why is Liv Morgan in this thing? And now Liv Morgan's in the finals.
It's very strange.
It's weird. But it feels like they have a plan.
Yeah.
Why would they put Liv Morgan, the champion, in the finals if they didn't have some sort of idea? And it feels like maybe Liv will win now because, like, why is she there? Unless she's there to win. And they have some sort of, you know, post-Queen of the Ring plan.
Raquel, maybe.
Yeah, I don't
or
know.
Roxanne. Or a triple threat.
It's super weird that they've had her now go to the finals. I thought she'd lose tonight to Charlotte.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, okay, that's enough because it doesn't make sense because she's the champion. But no. She won. Liv beat Charlotte after help from Jade and her evil friends attacking Charlotte before the match.
Pretty nasty shot to the leg.
Yeah, that kick that Jade gave Charlotte to the knee was, like, actually rough. It looked rough. Okay, well, Queen of the Ring is set. The finals are set. It'll be Liv Morgan versus Io Sky, and King of the Ring will be Oba Femi versus Jey Uso. Jey Uso qualifying tonight with a win over, I'm already forgetting who he beat.
Jevion.
Oh, yeah, Javon Evans.
Oh, yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, Jevion. We first saw him in a wrestling video game, right? It was 2K, 24 or something?
Yeah.
And, like, he was just, he appeared in a Royal Rumble, and we just saw his name on the screen quick. And I was like, what's that guy's name? Jevion? So we just started calling him Jevion.
And it was very much like the Pokemons. There's Pokemons like Flareon, Jolteon,
Jevion.
Vaporeon. So Jevion.
Yeah, he's like a Pokemon. But then
An
we found out.
evolution of Eevee.
But then we found out his name was Javon
Yes.
Evans.
Which makes a lot more sense.
And now, like, we're fans of his. He's actually very good. But when we first saw him, he was just like this random guy from NXT called Jevion. But that wasn't really his name.
I think we won like
we
a
misread
Rumble with him, one of us.
Oh, I was doing well with Jevion that
Yeah,
one
yeah.
time. No one can stop Jevion.
It's bouncy.
He is quite bouncy. I like Javon Evans. I didn't think that he would win. Jey Uso wins. Of course. Jey Uso beats Javon. Again. Danhausen had another funny segment. It's too bad Johnny's not here to
He
talk about how
probably
much he
would've-
hated it.
He hated it. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Danhausen was backstage with The Miz and Kit Wilson, and The Miz and Kit Wilson now are like strapped into some sort of helmets,
And
and
they're seemingly like
they got electrocuted. Well, Miz
Yeah.
got electrocuted 2 weeks ago, and then he was speaking only in catchphrases last week, and then Kit Wilson got electrocuted
He touched the machine
last week, so now he's also speaking only in catchphrases. So it's Kit Wilson and The Miz now speaking only in catchphrases because they got electrocuted in Danhausen's lair. And now Zack Ryder, or Matt Cardona as he likes to be called, but Danhausen keeps calling him Zack. Oh, Zack! Yeah, so funny. And then, so Matt Cardona is like defending him because Garza and Carrillo came in and they're mad because Danhausen uncursed the Knicks and the Knicks won, and Garza and Carrillo bet on the Spurs, so they're mad because they lost money. But then Cardona comes in and he's happy because he's from Long Island and he was a Knicks fan, so he's trying to protect Danhausen, and Garza and Carrillo leave, and then Cardona's talking to Danhausen and he grabs something and he gets electrocuted, and he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then Danhausen's like, oh, are you okay? And then Cardona goes, you know it. So he's saying, woo, 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 you know it, the Zack Ryder catchphrases. So he's speaking only in catchphrases. And Danhausen was Danhausen, when he said, you know it, he was like, yeah. He was like happy.
He's like marking out.
Yeah, he was happy because he's like, oh, he's doing the catchphrase, the fun. He's becoming Zack Ryder, who I like because that's what I'm calling him. So I was quite amused. I definitely chuckled. I enjoy everything Danhausen does.
Next week he'll say, take care, spike your hair.
Yeah, I guess. Kyle Salisbury in the chat goes, Kyle Salisbury, member of the team. What's up, Kyle? Over at join.ringsidereport.net. Hey, I'm seeing a couple of members there. Angelo is there.
Oh.
Jason Pete is there. Angelo has a question. What happened to the MMA show on Thursday? I read it's on hiatus. I'll mention that a little later, Angelo. I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you what's going on. Give you an update. Kyle Salisbury says, I'm with North. I hate Danhausen, but I don't mind. I know I am not the target audience for that stuff. I guess not. Like if it's not your cup of tea as far as, what you look for in pro wrestling, if you don't like that type of comedy, if you don't like comedy in wrestling, it's not going to be for you. Like, I get it, but I like it. I like silly things in wrestling. I think wrestling oftentimes is very silly,
but not in a good way. Like,
no, not in a good way.
Amateurish kind of.
Yeah,
you could tell where the punchlines are coming from.
Yeah,
but Danhausen, it just feels like different writing. Like it's just a slightly higher level, like a little bit more. Like they did second and third drafts of the Danhausen segments.
Yeah,
or everyone else is just the first draft.
Or maybe he has a bigger role in it, and he's very good, and he really knows what to do with the character.
They let him improvise.
I think there's a part of it where, Danhausen is very much a theater type of guy and a big character, and the writers that work for WWE, they're like these Hollywood type people.
Yeah.
Who understand how to write that type of character.
That's true.
Don't understand the intricacies of what makes sense in a pro wrestling context a lot of the times, but do understand like a wacky, zany character.
Yeah, it's a sketch.
Like sketch, comedy, that type of stuff. That's what they're designed to do. The other stuff, they're kind of like clueless. How to make wrestling serious in a way that isn't hokey or dumb.
The MFT segments, it's like, okay,
yeah, that's it. Like,
business.
There's certain things that you could tell the writers don't get from a wrestling standpoint, but Danhausen is less of a traditional pro wrestling type of thing and more of a funny comedy side gimmick. Like, he never wrestles.
Very rare.
He's wrestled, I think, once or twice on SmackDown. Twice at most, and he's been in the company for months now. He's not really a wrestler. Like I mean, he is, but he doesn't really wrestle. It's a different type of character for the WWE, and I think that their writing is maybe more, in line with that than with a real wrestler like a Cody Rhodes. I think they understand how to write for Danhausen more than they understand how to write for Cody.
They could come up with all these things to his character, always live forever and always what else is he interested in. You could like.
Whereas they don't know like anything about Dusty Rhodes other than what he looked like and he was Cody's dad.
Yeah, polka dots.
Yeah, and even that they probably don't know. Yeah. They probably don't even know who Sapphire was. You know what I mean? Like,
no, they don't.
So, Cody is a guy who operates in a pro wrestling context where there's history and stuff. Like, you look at the Randy Orton, Pat McAfee debacle leading into WrestleMania, where Randy was on the phone with somebody telling him to find the old Viper, to do this and that, and I felt that it should have been Randy's dad, Cowboy Bob.
Right.
Because Cowboy Bob was part of the first WrestleMania main event. Cowboy Bob knew Cody's dad. Cowboy Bob could come out and say, your dad was never good, he was garbage, and this and that, and he could be in Randy's corner, and I think it would have been far more impactful and far better received by the wrestling community.
Oh, it would be the feud of the year.
If they had made it more of a family affair about a history of the business type of thing. Your dad screwed me on a payday. Your dad booked me like
1978.
I main evented first WrestleMania. Your dad never main evented WrestleMania, and you shouldn't have either. That type of thing. My son main evented way more WrestleManias than you could ever hope to. My son is way better than you are. Your dad was this, your dad was that.
Couldn't draw a dime.
Yeah, well, that's it, and Randy could be like, hey, Cody, don't you wish your dad could be in your corner at WrestleMania?
Yeah,
and Randy's so evil, and Cody could cry.
And they were trying so hard to get Randy to be evil, and it wasn't working.
And you mentioned Dusty Cody starts crying. Yeah. Like, Cody could have got real emotional. It would have been real emotion. It would have been a real good story. But the writers that write for WWE would never come up with that because they don't know who Cowboy Bob Orton is. They don't know that he main evented in the first WrestleMania. Well, he was part of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. They don't know that he probably knew Dusty pretty well, and they don't care. And that's why the WWE is where it is, because they have all this history. They have all these second, third, fourth generation superstars, and they only relate to them with, their dads kind of, and each other, but they don't try to piece it together where hey, all of this is one big history that is living and breathing and always evolving, and this guy's dad
you could draw a straight line.
Wrestled this guy's dad, and these guys were here, and these guys probably played together as kids, and
he wrestled this guy who wrestled Lou Thez in the 50s.
Yeah, exactly. And wrestling fans that have been watching wrestling for a long time really appreciate that stuff. Like Kyle in the chat goes, hit Cody with the loaded cast.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Cowboy Bob, if you don't know, he had a cast on for years, and there was something in it, and he would hit you with it, and it was like, is he really injured? He's like, my wrist. But, it was just a gimmick thing because he was an evil heel, and Kyle gets that. And Kyle's not the only one who gets that and appreciates that and would be happy with that, far happier than they would be with that Pat McAfee bullshit that they gave us. And that's kind of the issue with the WWE writing, I think, fundamentally, is that they can write funny Danhausen stuff, and they're not bad writers necessarily in a writer sense.
Maybe some of them went to good schools.
Sure, they could probably write
out of good sketch groups.
They could probably write for TV and SNL and whatever, but that's not what this is.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a deep understanding and appreciation of what this is, it's hard to really come up with stories that will be really appreciated by the audience that has a deep and rich appreciation for the wrestling business. We care. We love it. We've been watching our whole lives. So
all the details.
We know who's who. We know who it's exactly. All the details. So, I think there was a real missed opportunity there. I don't know how Cowboy Bob is doing health-wise, but, if they could have got him for a promo or two, and especially just to stand there next to Randy at Mania, I think it would have been really impactful. But, they went another direction.
One way.
Hey, look, WWE, I am for hire. I mean, call me. I've got I've got a million ideas like that because I have a deep and rich appreciation for professional wrestling and for the WWE specifically. I love the WWE. I love the history of the WWE. I love that we have so many guys who do appreciate that history now in the WWE. Like, I know Cody Rhodes is a guy who cares about professional wrestling and the history of professional wrestling, and he tries to uphold that and protect the business as much as he can. And, he deserves better. He deserves some real meaty stuff. Like, I think the best thing Cody has ever done in his entire career is not finishing the story against Roman Reigns. It's that match he had against his brother at All In.
Oh, my God.
And that
the
was
promo at the end.
Yes, and that was
man.
history and years in the making and family and real stuff from inside and outside the business.
So much emotion.
That the fans knew about and were there for and were right there with them. And, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. It was a thing of beauty that I don't think Cody will ever top. Like, I think that was the greatest match that Cody Rhodes has ever had and will ever have.
Yeah.
It was one of the
good matches.
It was one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. It was one of the most beautiful moments you ever witnessed in the history of professional wrestling. Like, that was something. All In. I think it was wasn't it the first All In? Like,
is that the first All In?
I think so.
I don't need a partner, I need a brother.
I thought so. I'm not, honestly, I don't
for
know.
The AEW timeline
I'm pretty sure it was the first All In.
But yeah, it's possible.
But it was a very, very special match. And that's what I'm talking about. When you bring the history and the families and, like, this is the thing. They have so many families of wrestling in their company right now, and they use it this much.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much there, and they kind of allude to it, but they use it this much. Like, for their stories and for what they could do, they don't even scratch the surface. Kyle says, everything you were saying would have been amazing. Sigh.
Yeah, it would have been a great storyline.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't write the show. What do you want from me?
And it's just, it's
too bad, man. I wish
links to the old days.
I wish I did write the show. I would have a lot of fun.
Fewer
with
and fewer.
Huh?
There's fewer and fewer, links to like the old days or just like to that history. So it's just when there's an opportunity, it'd be nice.
Yeah, and they really don't do any of it.
No, not really anymore.
Like, talk about the old school brothers,
the
and
legends.
Stuff. Yeah, like, there's really no, like, on their show, there's nothing as far as, like, your dad and this, and, like, there's really nothing. I mean, R-Truth said that that him and Priest tonight, when they defended their tag titles against Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga, R-Truth said, hey, we just beat the Wild Samoans. We're going to beat up Rikishi and his whole family. And it's like, I mean, at least Truth in comedy, like, but that's the only kind of relation where you go, yeah, the Wild Samoans, that was Roman's dad and that's their family, and Rikishi, that's, Solo and the Usos' dad. Like, Truth is kind of going like, yeah, you're facing the Tongans, and but it's actually Ming's kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ming. I mean, Haku. It's Haku's children.
Legend.
Yeah, but Truth is kind of but that's the closest you got.
Yeah.
I did kind of like Tama Tonga going like, your family business is like getting in the way of our business, because it's like, yeah, well, they're Tongan.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all island guys, and they're all, in the wrestling business, they're all very closely related. But Haku isn't, I don't think, necessarily related to the Anawais in any way I don't even think by marriage or anything. I don't think he's part of the family tree, but I could be wrong. Because
it's like decades of working together.
Well, it's a massive family tree. Like, who knows? Maybe Haku's brother married one of the sisters. Like, it's possible.
It's that's always possible.
Yeah, but
he's an uncle.
Yeah, I did kind of like that, but they didn't say outright like, "Hey, you're Anawai and we're, you're a Fatu, but we're Haku. We're not." Right?
It doesn't apply to us.
They didn't.
It's not our department.
They didn't outright say that. Tama Tonga. What's his real name? Leone.
Teo Leone?
No. Haku is his father. Tonga Uli Fifita.
That's a cool name.
King Tonga. Yeah, he's quite a guy. Bad Luck Fale is his cousin.
Oh.
I didn't know Bad Luck Fale was his cousin. And his children, Tongaloa, Tamatonga, Talatonga. Those are Haku's kids.
Little Hakus.
Well, not so little. That Talatonga's a monster. But see, that's another thing. Haku is one of the most legendary, feared, respected, tough guys in the history of the business. And I don't think WWE has mentioned that they are his kids one time.
No. Maybe in
I'm the only guy telling
passing,
you.
But I don't know.
Nobody's telling you they're Haku's kids. Those are Haku's kids. Haku, the guy who teamed with Andre the Giant, those are his kids.
Faces of Fear.
And they don't even talk about it on the show? They don't mention that, that's Haku's kids. Hey, here's Haku. You know who Haku is, right?
And he's respected. Like, there's
when
a
they were in
supercut.
when they were in AEW doing like New Japan stuff, Haku came out with them.
Yeah.
AEW respects, because AEW fans tend to be like more hardcore wrestling fans and have an appreciation for the history and all of that. Whereas WWE fans are a little more casual and don't really know. But like to me, you go, those are Haku's kids. You get Haku showing up, I get excited. I like Haku. Who doesn't like Haku?
He was like wrestling up until like recently, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like you're still going. It's tough.
The old school guys, they talk about Haku.
Oh yeah, there's a supercut of like shoot interviews and like clips from Taker's podcast of just like Haku, like who's the toughest guy? And immediately Haku.
Unanimously Haku.
Yeah, like no second thoughts.
You ask
and, there's a lot of guys, you could say, but like Ron Simmons was back there and stuff.
Any guy, you ask basically anybody that wrestled in the 80s and 90s who the toughest guy was in the locker room, I would say 98% are going to say Haku.
Yeah.
And like stuff of legend. Clearing out entire bars, one man just destroying people.
Nobody could touch him.
No one, and he, you break chairs over his back and he looks at you and laughs. And then he grabs your face and just throws you 20 feet. Like just that type of monster. And his kids are on SmackDown on a regular basis and no one cares. Like it's like whatever. By the way, his son is like a 7-foot giant, and they're like, whatever, you're gonna lose to Truth and Priest
tonight. You're gonna be
tonight.
distracted by
Solo Sikoa.
You're gonna be like, what are you doing here, man? Told you stay backstage, okay? It's not part of the plan.
Roman actually talked about the history of the family. Like, Roman does talk about it. He's like the only guy allowed to do it. He was on Raw this week, as a matter of fact. See, Roman actually does do it. He was on Raw this week, and he was like, this is all the bloodline. Like, this is all about our family. He was like, you think that I started the bloodline? The bloodline's always been here. He was like, when Yokozuna beat Hogan for the title, that was the bloodline. When Umaga was main eventing WrestleManias, that was the bloodline. Even though he didn't main event, he was talking about the match with Vince and Trump.
Yeah, like
but
that's
still
considered a main event.
But he talked about like when Rikishi was shaking his ass. That was the bloodline. He said something like that. But he mentioned like Umaga and Yokozuna,
the excellence,
and Rikishi. He was like, we've been here forever, and I'm just continuing that, and you're a part of this, and like. Now he's like, welcome to the family, the bloodline family. Gave him the Ufalafa. But, like, that was kind of cool when he was like, when Yokozuna, when Rikishi, when Umaga, like, we've always been doing this. This is just the new generation of it. And really, you look at Roman, and he has taken the foundation, and taken it to a far bigger level than anybody in his family. And he has set them up more than any other guy that in his family. Like, Yoko was powerful when he was on top, but nowhere near as powerful as Roman is.
Yeah, like
Roman is so powerful in the company.
The amount of guys, that have jobs.
He's like,
in that orbit,
And Roman even said it, like, you see everybody's eating because of me, because I'm doing this, because I've lifted everybody up. And it's like, yeah, I mean, look at Solo, look at the Usos, look at Jacob, look at all these guys that have been lifted up because Rome.
Is Tamina technically still under contract?
I don't think so. Although they probably are paying her just because they can't not. But like all these people, Nia Jax barely wrestles. Nia. Like all these people that are there, where like, picture the Usos where they would be if Roman Reigns didn't exist.
Yeah.
Would Jey Uso have ever won the Royal Rumble?
No. I think they'd be, say, a tag team.
They'd be in AEW with the New Day and FTR.
They would have been tired out.
You know what I mean? Like Roman has set up the whole family in a real way.
Yeah. Generational wealth.
And generational wealth and standing in the WWE.
Yeah, like Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso are going to be regarded as one of the greatest tag teams ever.
And he will always be Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Like John Cena and, like
Hulk Hogan. And
yeah,
Steve
well,
Austin.
that's it. Like, so, and he's got a bunch of kids, and the Usos got a bunch of kids. And, like, all those kids, they got a job. They are set. Yeah. Any of those kids want to wrestle, they are set.
The WWE really is a make-work company for the Anoa'i family.
Yeah, or
it's just like, you want a job, we'll figure something out for you. Like Simone Johnson wanted it until she didn't.
Yeah, but here's my stance on this, right? And I think it's fair because, sure, a lot of the wrestlers' kids get a spot easier than if you're just some random person. But the wrestlers' kids, I feel, pay their dues because they don't have their dads around a lot of the times. Yeah. Like, they have paid their dues to the wrestling business by sacrificing their time with their dad.
I see.
So, to me, like, if I was I put myself in their shoes. I think it's good to lead with empathy a lot of times, right? And I put myself in the shoes of
a Jey Uso.
A Jey Uso or Roman Reigns or any of these guys or Randy Orton even, And you go, well, you are only there because your dad and this and that. And you go, okay, I got a foot in the door for sure because of my dad. But I have to get over.
Yeah.
Right? I have to make something happen. Are they going to push me more than other guys? Yeah, probably if they like my dad. Sure. But I grew up without my dad around because he was giving his time to the wrestling business. And, yeah, we made money and we had a good life and whatever.
It was Christmas, but still,
he missed my birthday. He missed Christmas.
Graduation.
He wasn't there for me in the way that most dads are because he was paying his dues on the road in the wrestling business. So to me, if I'm one of these guys, I go, well, I have paid my dues with my life. My life has been my dues to the rest. I've earned a spot in this business because I have sacrificed a lot by not having, a dad around. And I think, that's fair. I think that if you are the son of a wrestler, you are missing out on a lot of dad time, which isn't great growing up, which is a sacrifice. And if you get a leg up in the pro wrestling world, which is not
guaranteed
or easy or necessarily super great on your body or life or you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's not like here's $10 million just because it's like no, you have to now work for the WWE, which is cool and all, but like it's not easy.
Yeah, take some bumps.
You're basically a stunt man and you got to do a lot of crazy stuff and the travel and all of that. So to me,
being nice to fans for the most part.
Especially
really
as
rude about it.
As a father with my kids, I think man, if I was in a WWE, I would have to be on the road here. I'd miss so much, and they would be missing out on so much. Like they would deserve to get something out of it when they're adults. Like, maybe you're not built to do anything else. Because, you didn't have a dad, but you could wrestle, so do that, I don't know. I don't really have a problem with the Nepo babies in pro wrestling. Because I feel like they did sacrifice quite a bit because the guys are on the road. Now, they're not on the road as much now, but they're still quite a bit on the road. You go on a European tour for like a month. Your dad's gone for a month. No kid. The little kids, they don't want...
forever.
Yeah, especially when they don't like it, the kids don't like it, the moms don't like it, and you don't like it too as a dad because you come back and they're different.
Yeah.
And that's
And you got to catch up.
not good.
And, like,
You don't want that.
You might only be back for, like, a day and a half, and then you got to go back out again. Another loop.
So.
Tough life.
Tough life. On that note, I want to wish all dads a happy Father's Day this weekend, myself included, especially me. But, yeah, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, especially my dad, who is the best dad, who taught me to be a great dad. And every day I try to live up to his example as a dad. Every day I try to be as good of a dad as my dad was to me, because he really was amazing. Not a single, he never missed a single Little League game that I had.
No, he was there.
He was always there and remains always there for me to this very moment.
This moment.
And I love him dearly, dearly.
Big ups.
So, yes, just happy Father's Day. And just know, and it all ties into that. Like, I love my dad. I love my kids. I love being with my kids. And, I just picture these little wrestling kids without their dads. And,
Yeah.
I was very lucky to have grown up with my father always present.
Yeah.
Home every night.
Good
there,
dinners.
Making dinner for me every night. Excellent chef.
Oh, yeah.
And also, always there for my extracurricular activities, be it wrestling, be it baseball, be it whatever I was doing. He was there to take me to wrestling practice, take me to baseball practice, go sit there, coach my team sometimes. He was always there. And, for these guys that are at SmackDown tonight, they're not tucking their kids in bed.
No.
So that's it's tough. It's tough. So I feel for them. I feel like, hey, you got a job in WWE. Oh, well, I mean, good. Good for you.
But there's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
And everyone's part of it.
Yes. So happy Father's Day. And also happy birthday. Yeah, my dad is the producer of this show. That's right. He is the best at it. He's brilliant. He's better at technology than I am. And he's older than me. And I am, not young, so you can imagine that he is older. I mean, I'm not saying he's old, but he's older than me, and he's better at technology. He's way better. AI is his best friend, I think. Maybe Lee Gorin. Shout out Lee Gorin.
Oh, Lee Gorin.
The best. Love Lee Gorin. I never met him, but I love him.
Have
you met him?
I think I had dinner with Lee Gorin once.
Your dad's friends are always a mystery, eh?
Or was that Tasso?
It's always I know Tasso. He was in the Army. He was cool.
Yeah, Tasso was cool.
Your dad's friends are always a mystery to you, I think.
Tasty food pizza.
Anyways, happy birthday to my son, which is next week. My son is turning 9, so
That's
happy
right.
birthday to him as well.
Very proud.
9.
About to finish the 3rd grade.
My firstborn, which means that I've been a dad now for nearly 9 years, which is crazy.
Yeah, almost a decade.
Crazy. I must be getting old. Brother.
Oh, jeez, brother.
Yes. What else is happening in WWE world? I think that's about it. I think we've covered all the wrestling, right? There's AEW stuff. You don't watch Dynamite. You don't watch any wrestling. You watch SmackDown with me on Friday nights.
Yeah, and I kind of
that's pretty much it.
I'll look at Squared Circle, on Tuesday, see any kind of finishes to matches or if there's a promo, seems interesting.
You'll see the clips and the major things, but you're not watching all the shows.
No.
I watch all the shows.
Yeah, you do. I'm not watching Dynamite either.
Yeah. Do you even know what's going on in AEW?
Well, MJF is the champ.
MJF is the champ, and he's got a lot of challengers. Everybody wants a piece of him.
Yeah.
A lot of them are in the Don Callis family, like Kevin Knight and Andrade. Like, they all want a shot at MJF, but MJF is paying the Don Callis family and many of their friends, or no, just paying Don Callis and it's like 14 guys in Don.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot.
It's so big, and they've got Forbidden Door next week. So next week's show we'll be doing a double preview show. We'll be
Boy.
previewing Forbidden Door and Night of Champions. So that'll be fun. Forbidden Door, I think, will be the better show, as AEW always delivers. And this is the last AEW pay-per-view before Redemption in Montreal. And MJF this week was like talking about all the challengers, and he even mentioned Kenny Omega, and he's like, Kenny Omega will never get his redemption. And I was like, Kenny Omega redemption? Felt like a little foreshadowing, so I feel like it will be Kenny versus MJF for the AEW World title in the main event of Redemption at the Bell Center.
Oh my God, the emotion in that room is going to be nuts.
But just to see that match, it's just, you know, the wrestling fan in me is very excited to see Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the best in the world today, go up against one of the greatest of all time, Kenny Omega, in an epic match for the title that Kenny might actually win in Canada. Just to see that match take place, Kenny versus MJF, whoever wins, see them wrestle for the world title in the main event of a pay-per-view right here in my hometown. I have tickets. We are going.
It's going to be pretty
I can't wait. The fact that that is even being talked about as the main event has got me so excited for Redemption. Kenny Omega versus MJF. I've never seen MJF before.
No, he didn't come.
He wasn't here when AEW was here last time for Collision and Dynamite. There was no MJF. And now, not only will we get MJF, we're going to get World Champion MJF.
Main event MJF.
Main event MJF defending against Kenny. Not just MJF. It's not like MJF, Mark Briscoe, or you know, it's MJF. I mean, no disrespect,
exactly. But like, I know, it's
MJF Kenny.
Like
it doesn't get better than that. I can't fathom how crazy
that's even better
it's gonna
than
be.
MJF Hangman.
I think for us in Canada too. Kenny in Canada going for the belt against
and like
MJF.
You know, who knows how many more matches Kenny has? You know, it's like that's definitely going to play into it.
I love what AEW is doing these days. They are the best wrestling company. They are where the best wrestle. And if you don't believe that, you're not watching. You're not paying attention. AEW is certainly where the best wrestle. And it will be Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland in the men's Owen Hart Cup final. Winner gets an AEW world title match at All In England. Everybody expecting Ospreay, even MJF saying, MJF even in his promo, he's like, Will Ospreay, everybody thinks they're going to have this great story and you're going to take my title at Wembley. I don't think so, Ospreay. You know, like even MJF is like, I like that he said it in the promo when he's talking about all his challengers. Is like, well, seems like Ospreay is in this tournament and you think you're going to take my belt here? I don't think so.
Ospreay Kenny is also a hell of a match to do, too.
Which it also could be. If Kenny wins in Montreal in July, then in August it would be Kenny Ospreay, which could be crazy, too. Yeah. Kenny could have a short title reign. Yeah. Kenny's facing Zack Sabre Jr. next week at Forbidden Door. Yeah. Pretty good. Ospreay versus Swerve and Kenny versus ZSJ. MJF's match. So MJF has a bunch of friends now in the Don Callis family because he's paying them. It's a steel cage match, multi-man tag team. Team MJF will be MJF, Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher, Jack Doyle, who's this huge Jack dude. Big Jack dude. Kazuchika Okada and Andrade.
Okay.
I mean, that's MJF, Kyle Fletcher, Okada, and Andrade with Kevin Knight and Jack Doyle. I mean, that's quite a team. They will be taking on Team Mark Briscoe, which will be Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Konosuke Takeshita, and Darby Allin.
Okay.
This is a match in a steel cage. I guess, I don't know if it'll be one steel cage.
Yeah, it sounds like War Games, baby.
It does sound like some sort of War Games, but they didn't say two cages, two rings. They said because they have War Games called Blood and Guts.
Yeah,
but it's not Blood and Guts. It says steel cage match, but maybe it'll be like a Hell in a Cell type steel cage over the roof with a roof and like because that many guys.
Well, Darby's gonna
in
jump
one
onto them from
steel
high
cage.
place.
it seems like too small of because in a steel cage, the cage is right up against the ropes.
Yeah.
And
10,
it's
10
like,
guys is tough to fit in there.
1, 2, 3,
to do
4,
to do
5, 6, 7. No, it's 14. It's 7 on 7.
Yeah,
You can't have 7 on 7 in one ring. I mean, there's not going to be any tags. You can't have them in one unless it's just like all going to be outside the ring and a few guys will be in the cage. Like nobody, they're not all going to be in the cage at the same time.
You could go in and out of the cage as you please, kind of.
Because 14 guys, yeah, well, that's it. But then,
what's the point of having the cage?
and how do you win? How do you win?
Yeah.
And if Briscoe's team wins, Briscoe gets an AEW World Title shot at some point against MJF.
Just Briscoe.
Just Briscoe.
None of the other 6 guys.
No, because it's Team Briscoe versus Team MJF. And if Briscoe wins, he gets a title shot. But if he loses, he doesn't.
And all these guys just really want to fight for Mark Briscoe. Like, MJF, he's paying them, so, like,
Darby
they're
Allin,
mercenaries.
Darby Allin, who just lost the title
Yeah.
to MJF, for some reason, his
Really
main mission
wants
is to
Mark
get a title
Briscoe.
shot for Mark Briscoe.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't love it.
They're all friends.
But I think it might be the main event for Forbidden Door. It seems like
All right.
one of the least interesting matches, but oh well.
Not that much of a Forbidden Door, to be honest. That's all
No.
AEW guys.
Yes.
There's
very little Forbidden Door.
Because Okada is with AEW now,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what is the Forbidden Door, really? Because, like, Tanahashi's retired, Naito,
Zack Sabre Jr.
yeah.
He wrestles in New Japan. He's coming
So,
over for this.
yeah.
That's one. And Shota Umino, who's the IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion, will be defending against Pac. So Shota Umino's coming over from New Japan. And Tekla will be taking on from Stardom the Starlight Kid.
Okay.
So the women's promotion out in Japan, Stardom. So there's a little bit of that kind of crossover for Forbidden Door. Tekla defending her AEW women's title against Starlight Kid. Shota Umino defending that IWGP Global Heavyweight title against Pac. Maya World, who wrestles, I guess, mostly in Ring of Honor. And
Maya World.
Oh, that's good. It's Maya World, Maya World.
If that's, like, that's not her theme song.
That's funny. Mercedes Moné will be wrestling Maya World in the Women's Owen Hart Cup final. The winner gets an AEW Women's World Title shot at All In. I would expect Mercedes to get that. She hasn't.
Sense.
That's the one
Just
belt.
making her come back.
And she was
She
like,
lost a bunch of her belts.
she lost like all her belts. She was belt collecting. She had like 1 million belts. Then she lost all of them. And when she was belt collecting, she never won that AEW World Title.
It's
that was
true.
the one that eluded
She
her.
had the DBS.
So I would assume,
That's why Tony Storm beat her.
Tekla's had a pretty good run as the champion. I like Tekla a lot. She's really starting to grow on me, and I think her and Mercedes would have a hell of a match. And it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have Mercedes win the title at All In, or Tekla beat Mercedes either. Like honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be mad at Tekla beating Mercedes. Tekla's become that good. I'm that impressed with Tekla. I think promos, she is one of the better promos in AEW right now. I really like everything Tekla is doing. I've become a big Tekla fan, and I never thought I would be. When I first saw Tekla, I was like, what is going on here? She's like a spider? She's like a spider lady. But over time, she's really evolved, especially as AEW Women's Champion. She's like evolved into this character. She's evil, and just the way she talks and the way she presents herself, very good. And the matches are very solid. Like, I've become a big Tekla fan. Tekla wrestling the Starlight Kid there, defending the AEW Women's World Title next week. She's not losing. John Moxley defending his AEW Continental title against Bandito. That match added this week.
Oh, Bandito?
Is that bandana? Moxley and Daniel Garcia losing to Brodito on Dynamite this week. Brodito, Bandito, and Brody King getting the tag team win over Moxley and Garcia. And you also have Edge and Christian, Cope and Cage, defending the AEW tag team titles next week against the Dogs. That's just my baby dog. David Finlay and Clark Connors. David Finlay, son of Fit Finlay.
SmackDown.
Yes. And Christian was quite derogatory towards them this week.
Oh, yeah?
He said the Dogs This is the first tag team we're facing that's named after their mothers.
Ooh.
And he also said that David Finlay is supposed to be some sort of gift to the wrestling business. He'd be better off running. He should have ran down Fit Finlay's leg.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty disgusting.
Oh, Christian. Christian's just still delivering.
Christian really knows how to paint a picture too, because after that, all I could think of was
Fit Finlay's leg.
Something running down Fit Finlay's leg, and I was disgusted.
Bit rank.
Because I could picture Fit Finlay, and like,
why is what he looks like?
Why is it running down his leg? What happened? Why is it running down his leg?
Because he had a,
and he's standing, and it's on his leg.
Didn't. I mean, we could go into the physics of this.
Look, I didn't want to go.
Yeah, it's true. It is a little. Like, he could have come up with a more graphic. Your dad should have fired you into a Kleenex.
Well, I don't know, but just the way he's like, you should have run down Fit Finlay's leg, and I'm like,
it's you could the running down the leg.
It's like an image, and it's just like, it was so gross that he said that. Yeah, but then it's
like the JFK shooting. It's like, okay, the angles.
But then it got me thinking.
Back into the left.
What's Christian doing? That's the go-to.
How does Christian make
Well,
love?
that's it. Well, that's it. Like, I just go. Look, it's just not. It doesn't often hit my leg.
Yeah, it's
not something.
Wait, was Christian suggesting as the byproduct of Finlay doing self-love, or is
Look,
a
I don't
byproduct
know.
of Finlay's parents having sex
Brother.
that doesn't revolve in his conception?
Brother, either way.
Like, did he remove a condom and then the...
Well, but see, exactly.
Yeah.
But see, we're having this discussion
I know, I mean...
because the fact that there is, as the great Leon Black would say, ejaculate. Ejaculate?
Oh, yeah.
Running down his leg, it just, like, Christian just saying that just made me go, first of all, gross, because I pictured it with Fit Finlay. And then second thought was like, well, what's happening? Because, like, I don't often get it on my, it's not a thing that runs down my leg. Like,
no.
Maybe you're scared, you pee yourself, pee runs down your leg.
Yes.
Like, if you said pee runs down your leg, you go, okay, that's like a typical thing. But you go, your mother should have swallowed you. You go, okay, typical insult.
I think I've heard, like, your dad should have fired you into a Kleenex or something.
Yes, of course. You've heard these things. But Christian going, you should have, run down Fit Finlay's leg made me go, well, what is happening with you, Christian? What are you up to? What is going on?
Yes.
It just really...
Because it has to be flaccid to run down the leg.
It took me...
Right?
It took me
But to get to that stage, flaccid doesn't usually factor into it.
Yes, and it took me out of the promo...
Flaccidity.
Just for a few moments there, and made me just question, first of all, gross image. Second of all, what, Christian? What do you mean? And then I watched Edge, okay?
Did Edge, think about it?
No, Edge then cuts a typical Edge promo where he's like, the dogs at Forbidden Door, we're going to do this, and
ass.
You better get ready, and blah. And I'm like, cool. And then he puts down the mic, and the crowd goes mild.
No.
And they just go, oh. And I go, yeah. And in that moment, too, I realized what Edge was doing wrong. And it was a bigger concept. Like, I hit on something in my mind because I'm a wrestling genius, right? Edge was in the ring cutting a promo to the camera with the live audience there, talking to his opponents who were not there.
Yeah. It's very WWE.
Wrestlers should never do this. A good wrestling promo in 2026 in the ring is not you in the ring saying, hey, you, my opponent, I'm going to get you, and you think this? Well, guess what? It's going to be this, and actually this. You don't talk to your opponent when you're in the ring with a microphone. You talk to the people about your opponent.
Yeah.
That's how you cut a promo. CM Punk does this masterfully.
Yeah.
He comes to the ring. Notice CM Punk never goes in the ring and starts talking directly to another wrestler who's not there. He will talk directly to a wrestler if he's right in front of his face, but he'll never go in a ring and start saying, you think this, but I'm going to do this, and da-da-da. He goes, Roman Reigns thinks that he's going to be, but I know, and you know, that we're going to...
you've got my back, town I'm in.
LA Knight goes, Jey Uso thinks that he's this, and we know that I had to come to Baltimore, and I had to be here, and Jey Uso, he might want to do this, and Roman Reigns, we know what he's about, but he doesn't go, Roman Reigns, I know what you're doing, because that doesn't connect.
When you step into the ring with me, brother.
Because you're in the middle of the ring, and the crowd is there, and they're looking at you, and you're not addressing them. You're acting like they're not even there. And some of these really green people in the WWE, you see like a Sol Ruca get in the ring, and she's got a little promo to cut in the middle of the ring, and she goes, Becky Lynch, when I see you, you'll see, and I'm going to snatch your soul. Yeah. And it's like, and she plays to the crowd after she's done, but it's like, the crowd goes,
yeah,
yay, we like you, but like, really, we're not going, hell yeah,
get her.
We don't do that because we go, all right, good try, sweetheart, we like you.
Yeah, you know, like,
it's like, and you
next time
see
I'd be
guys
better.
and women and everybody in the WWE, especially when they're green. Becky Lynch is a master as well.
Yeah.
She goes out, she talks about
God, Becky's
herself.
so good.
You people like me, you don't know any you people do. And
it's not just me saying it.
Oh, and can you believe Sol Ruca would come and do this to me? And welcome to the big time. And, she knows how to talk to the audience. And that is a huge disconnect. And it really struck me when I watched Edge, who is a seasoned veteran.
Yeah, and has talked to the audience before.
And who knows how to do it, go in the ring and do this completely disconnected promo talking to... And maybe it's because... And I just don't know what was going on. It made me wonder, like, is it because there's maybe 2,000 people in that building, and he's doesn't really want to talk to them because he feels weird. He doesn't feel it.
Quiet.
Is that it? Because he's not used to that.
No,
Christian's used to work in small crowds.
He's at the Impact Zone for a long time. He knows how to work that crowd.
Edge isn't used to working in the B League. Edge is used to working in the WWE where you're having big arenas and this and that.
And he was getting big reactions. He was never in small feuds.
He never went to TNA. He never went to the B Leagues. Christian went to the B Leagues. He came back to the WWE. He knows what both sides are like. He knows how to play to these audiences.
That's true.
And Christian, he said some offensive stuff, and you go, Jesus. And the crowd goes, Whoa! And then Edge comes, and he does like the typical wrestler thing, and it just totally didn't work. And it made me go, wow. I'm surprised, and maybe that's why, like, this, current run has never really worked with him, because, like, the promos are not, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very sort of WWE style.
Yeah, but, like, not done well. It's almost like he needs the writing to back him up.
And the crowd.
But, yeah, that's a lesson for any pro wrestler out there. Do not go into the ring and cut a promo directly to your opponent. That's 1988. That's not 2026.
And
in 2026, you can talk about your opponent, but don't talk directly to him unless he's right in front of you. Talk to the crowd about yourself, about your opponent, about whatever, but address the crowd when you're in the ring. Please don't go in there and say, this guy and that I'm going to do, because that is not working. Like, that worked, Mean Gene goes, what are you going to do?
You had Mean Gene.
Let me tell you something, brother. I'm going to do this to you.
Mean Gene was so important, too, because he would fight back on the heel sometimes. He would provide, it was...
Also,
Mean Gene
wrestlers
was great foil.
And wrestlers weren't super nice to Mean Gene all the time. Heel or babyface, you're all nice to Kathy Kelly or Jackie Redmond. Stop being so nice to the backstage interviewers. Especially heels. Be rude. Because you're heels. You're supposed to be bad guys that we don't like. You could be rude to the ladies backstage. It's okay. It's wrestling. You should hear what The Rock used to say to Lillian Garcia.
Or the coach.
Or whoever.
Michael
or
Cole.
Kevin Kelly or whoever. You should hear what The Rock used to say.
God.
And he's the guy that you're all supposed to emulate to get over.
The people.
Lillian, do you like strudel or do you like pie? You want the Rock strudel? You know, like he would say all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, he got over. It worked for him. I mean, I'm not saying say sexually offensive things like The Rock, but you could be like a little nasty sometimes, like a little salty to the backstage interviewer. You don't have to treat them with the utmost respect. Yeah. It's like you treat them better than you treat every other wrestler. Why? Why? Why are they treated with such reverence? It's very strange. All right. Well, that's it. We've talked about a lot of disgusting things tonight.
Yeah.
And a lot of beautiful wrestling things. Oh, Angelo had a question. He wanted to know why Ringside Report MMA was not on last night, and he read about a summer hiatus. Yeah, we're taking a little break for the summer for a variety of reasons. I need a little timeout. I mean, I need a little vacation, right?
It's summertime.
Fred has been off for a little while. He's
the wee ones are home from school, you know.
Yeah, that's it. The kids are home and they're running wild, and Fred has been off for a little bit. And we're all just kind of all over the place. We'll definitely be back talking about MMA in some fashion here on the Ringside Report Network, but maybe in a slightly different way. I think we're looking at a couple ideas to retool things and change things up. So, stay tuned. This show's not going anywhere. Wrestling Uncensored is staying exactly where it is. Johnny will be back, I think next week. If not next week, then the week after. I'll confirm with Johnny, but Johnny is all good, and Johnny will be back. And Wrestling Uncensored is staying Friday nights, 10 p.m. That's not going anywhere. The MMA show, I don't know how much I want to I don't know how much I want to say. I think I've had a bit of an issue with MMA lately with the UFC, because that's the main league of MMA. I really like the sport. I watched the White House card. I thought the fights were good, but everything around it was a little hard to watch and a little, some of it was really distasteful. Josh Hokett's comments got a lot of negative attention for the UFC, and I'm kind of at a crossroads as far as how I feel about the UFC and what continuing to support the UFC and continuing to support, this company says about me, And I think at a certain point you have to go, enough is enough. And I may have reached that point with the UFC, I may have reached a point where I don't have it in me to really support this company anymore because of how they behave, how their fighters behave, how their president behaves. And, the fights were pretty good. But I've seen a lot of pretty good fights, I'll continue to follow the sport. I think we'll talk about MMA in some form or fashion here, continuing on the channel in some way. But, to me, dedicating an entire show once a week to this sport that I no longer see myself in. I started watching MMA, in the early days. I was gravitating towards guys like Randy Couture and Chuck Liddell and George St. Pierre and Lyoto Machida, where the guys were trying to behave with honor and respect, where if you said racist, sexist, homophobic things, you were reprimanded by the company. It wasn't really allowed or encouraged as it is now. I came up in an era of MMA that was about respect and honor. And I feel like respect and honor in mixed martial arts has gone away. And that's a big disappointment to me because it's something that I really believe in. As a martial artist, And as a longtime fan of MMA, I'm very disappointed in the direction that the sport has taken. Very disappointed. I love martial arts. I was at jiu-jitsu this morning. And, I believe in honor and respect for your training partners, for your coaches, for everybody, and for your opponents as well. Because it takes guts to put everything on the line and step into physical combat. And a lot of times, these guys are stepping over the line because they think it's all fair in entertainment. Because the Conor McGregor example has, and Conor just being encouraged and never reprimanded for any of the, stuff he said about Khabib and Khabib's family and Khabib's religion. And, Conor really opened the door for a lot of fighters to go, oh, well, if Conor's allowed, I must be allowed.
This is how you become number one.
If this is how you promote yourself, then this is, and I really believe it's the Conor McGregor effect. Because before Conor, people weren't really like that. You had Chael Sonnen, but Chael Sonnen wasn't celebrated for him, for what he was saying. He was vilified, and people wanted Anderson Silva to beat his ass, and then Anderson Silva beat his ass.
That's how they sold the pay-per-view.
And we were all like, hell yeah, Anderson, beat his ass for that racist shit he said about you and all your Brazilians.
Yeah.
Like, go get him, Anderson, because we have respect for the Brazilian people. We have respect for your culture and what you've brought to our great sport. And we don't like what Chael has said to you, this ignorant American saying this racist shit about you and the Nogueira brothers and all this stuff. Go whoop his ass, Anderson. And he did. And everybody said, yeah, Chael, that's what you get. That's what you get, the Chael. The Chael Sonny. Ooh.
God, I miss Anderson.
Anderson dances in your face.
God, Anderson's so good.
But, those days are long gone.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor.
GSP,
GSP,
with the bowing. And
respect.
So much respect.
Yo, Lyoto Machida head-kicking Mark Munoz, knocking him out cold, and then immediately, before the referee even stops the fight, going to check on him to see if he was okay. Yeah. Damian Maia.
Mark Munoz.
Damian Maia coming out and saying, my goal is to just use jiu-jitsu and never hurt my opponent. I just want to win.
Yeah.
And he would just take you down, and he would get your back, and he would strangle you, and you would tap, and you'd walk away without a scratch, and you'd be totally fine to train. You could have another fight right away. Yeah. And Damian Maia's whole point was, I just want to beat you and put you in a position where you can't do anything. You give up, and everybody's happy, and everybody's safe, and we go home.
Yeah.
And that was his style of MMA, and that's what he talked about, and I love that. There's nobody in the UFC today who would go, my whole goal is to win without hurting my opponent.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? Like, when Damian Maia said that, I was like, this guy is the best. I love Damian Maia. He's so cool. Because he could do it.
Yeah.
It's more badass to say, I'm going to win without even hurting you, than to say, I'm going to beat you up, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to knock you out.
Cut an 80s wrestling promo.
Ilia Topuria, I'm going to knock him out in the first round. I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to do that. You didn't, bro. You didn't. How do you look now? How do you look now? Your face probably still looks fucked up. Show respect. You never know what might happen. But, it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
So, to me...
And, the figureheads of the business.
It's hard to root for anybody.
Yeah.
It's hard to root for Topuria. It's really hard to root for Gaethje after all the nut-hugging of the administration after the fight. It's impossible to root for a guy like Josh Hokett. Or Sean Strickland. I do like Cyril Gane. Yeah. I do like that he beat Alex Pereira. I didn't root against... I like Alex Pereira. He seems okay. Cyril Gane is nice. I like Cyril Gane. He hasn't said anything crazy or offensive. He fights well.
He snubbed Trump, kind of.
He shook his hand before that, but then he snubbed him on the way out.
All right. I only saw one clip.
He did shake his hand. Right. But still, Cyril... I like Cyril Gane. But
that's not.
But it doesn't excite me, Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like, Anderson Silva fights excited me. George St. Pierre fights excited me.
Frankie Edgar.
BJ Penn, you know? And nowadays, I'm not really excited about the fights, you know, and I've been doing this for a long time. I've been covering MMA for almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to a point where I don't know if I care that much. I don't know if I care that much about the sport. I mean, I definitely care way more about the Yankees than I do about anything going on in MMA right now, and that's a shift. You know that, and you know, I'm growing up. I'm changing. People change. And you know, I talked to Fred, and you know, Fred and I don't watch the UFC every week like we used to.
Yeah.
Like if there was a UFC show back in the day, I was watching it. If it was a fight night, a pay-per-view, I was watching it.
Ultimate Fighter.
UFC's got a show tomorrow in Azerbaijan. I'm not watching. I don't give a shit. I don't give
Oh my gosh.
Like they got shows every week, and I don't watch any of them. I watch the pay-per-views, and even then, most of the time, I'm not watching the prelims. And I'm only really watching the pay-per-views because I'm doing like a watch-along. Now, granted, I did not do a watch-along for the White House show because I couldn't bear it.
Oh boy.
I just couldn't talk about the UFC and then Trump and all these people and all of it. It was just so over-the-top, patriotic American propaganda that I was just like, it was just a little too much for me. You know, I'm not into all that super America patriotism stuff, especially with Trump, man. Like, I don't really like him. You know, that's putting it mildly. I'm not a fan. I'm not a MAGA guy.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't love him. I'm not one of these guys who's got what is it? The TDS, the Trump derangement syndrome.
Yes.
I like that he's coined his own syndrome for people that hate him. Imagine
people said it about Obama too.
But
people
imagine
said that about Obama.
Yeah,
they
but
said Obama
Trump
deranged
talks
him.
about it.
Well, yeah.
Imagine people hate you so much that there's like a term for it. The Unky B derangement syndrome. Like, people hate you so... You know what I mean? Like, the Dave derangement syndrome. People hate me in this show so much that they're obsessed with it.
It's one of those things where it's, like, both plausible to be like, well, yeah, like, there is a lot of stuff to be angry at him about. You know, there are a lot of different things where, like, actually, this is his fault. But also, if you look at it without, you know, examining it, you'd be like, oh, yeah, it seems people are really angry at a lot of things. This seems more like a put-on.
Yeah.
I could see how, like... But, like, you know, I'm on the side of, like, well, actually, I could see several different ways where it's like, well, this guy's kind of fucking up, you know, like,
yeah,
it's not like, you know. But sometimes I'll see a headline or something where it's like, oh, I'm like, wait, like, no, that's, like, I could discern.
Yeah, of
like,
course.
That's not something to be mad at.
But
you know,
I just don't,
you could pick your spots.
I try not to think about Donald Trump or obsess with Donald Trump, and I know a lot of people are. I try to avoid politics and Trump altogether. Like, you know me, I'm not really that aware. Whenever I see stuff, I go, yikes, he seems like a train wreck. But I'm really focused on the New York Yankees. Well, you know what I mean? Like, I watch pro wrestling. I'm focused on what's going on in the wrestling business. I'm focused on the New York Yankees. I'm focused on my children. I really don't give a shit about politics.
Ball game over.
All.
Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Another win for the Yanks tonight, beating the Reds. Was it 5-0 final? Let me see. 5-0. Yeah.
Maybe the Yankees are going to ride this vibe, you know, like.
But hold on, I just want to wrap up. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. But I just want to wrap up, you know, on the MMA topic.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have it in me to care about the UFC anymore. I did enjoy the fights from the White House. I did think the production was great. It looked great. It looked cool. But there was a lot about it that was a little distasteful, and just all the stuff around the fights, like, as soon as the fighters, like, they do their promos, they're awful. They're saying terrible shit.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't just a joke, no kid, or
no, it was a lot of them, and they're all saying stuff. I mean, you know, watch what Gaethje was saying after his fight. Like, Trump, you're the best. You know, it's just like, all right, you know, it's just, it's too much, you know, and so it's all the talking. From the fighters up to the promoter, you know, Dana White, to everything around.
Also seeing Joe Rogan, too, it's kind of like, and all that represents.
Well, that, too. Like, Joe Rogan has kind of, you know, like, Joe Rogan used to be about legalized weed, aliens, and Bigfoot, and now he's about hating trans people, hating California and Gavin Newsom, and
loving billionaires.
And, like Joe Rogan has kind of changed with the sport or the sport has changed with Joe Rogan. I'm not really
yeah.
sure. It's like a chicken and the egg scenario here. But it's just where the sport has gone has really alienated me, which is disappointing because I like the sport of MMA. I think it's a great sport. I believe in it. I love martial arts. I love jiu-jitsu. I'm going to do jiu-jitsu until I die or my limbs no longer want me to do jiu-jitsu, which, you know, my neck says no more. You never know. But I don't see that day coming anytime soon, and if it does, I'm going to, you know, like my knee was hurting, and I was like, oh, it kind of hurts to go downstairs, but I'm pretty sure I could roll. So
you'll put the resources
my health,
of your knee. Yeah,
I think about my health on not like if I can live in life, but like can I do jiu-jitsu? And if I can, then I'm fine.
Yeah,
even if jiu-jitsu will damage whatever. It's like, oh yeah, this will be more sore after jiu-jitsu, but so what? I still did jiu-jitsu, which is the most important thing. So that's, you know, how I feel about martial arts. Like, you could tell I love it. You know what I mean? I love martial arts, and I believe in martial arts, and I really believe in jiu-jitsu. And I'm just disappointed in where it's all gone. And even the sport of jiu-jitsu has been kind of permeated with this type of talk and stuff because the UFC is, you know, kind of a thought leader in the whole community. Yeah. So it's disappointing, you know, and just a lot of the stuff around the UFC is distasteful to me and difficult to watch, and I'm really just I don't see myself in the sport anymore. And I know Fred, you know, we've had discussions about the UFC, and we're just not as into it as we used to be. And you know, we'll see where we go. I don't know. We'll see. You know, AJ I think is eager to get back to it at some point, so, you know, get back to, you know, we'll do something with AJ's not going anywhere either, you know. AJ's not going anywhere, Fred's not going anywhere. We'll be back together in some form or fashion, you know, but it might not just be about straight MMA. Maybe it'll be about sports in general. You know, I'm kind of thinking about that, where we just talk about we're not stuck in an MMA hole, where we could have MMA as one of the things on the agenda, but it's not like, hey, let's talk about MMA on this show. Let's talk about, you know, this sport that's going on, you know, the Knicks won or whatever, or the Yankees or whatever's going on in AJ's life with AJ, you know, like maybe
I'll talk hockey with you guys.
Well, that's it. Like maybe more of a general sports show or just general show or something else with AJ, with Fred, with whoever, you know, but not necessarily solely focused on MMA, because at this point, I don't want to give it that much attention. I don't think it deserves that much of my time and attention.
This Nazi or this Nazi.
Exactly. Yeah, and Jason Pete is in the chat, and I know he is a lifelong MMA fan and a martial artist. He's out in Mexico. Jason Pete, member of the team over at join.ringsidereport.net. Thank you, Jason, for supporting and for the comments. He says, agree with Dave. I hate what MMA has become, relying on racist shit and politics to promote fights in the sport. It's not about combat, competition, and mixed martial arts anymore. I hate this Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, racial insults, insulting families, wives, and kids. I hate all of it. It's not about the fighters anymore. It's about the UFC brand. And exactly. Yeah. And look what the UFC brand is. Jason says, I dropped off the UFC following train around 2019, 2020. I said, yeah, I don't like where this is going. This is a product now, not a fight. And yeah, I mean, you know, since the Fertitas sold it, it's been different. Since the pandemic, there's been a real shift in the politics with the UFC. Yeah. You know, the pandemic did something to the UFC and its fan base that I don't know if they'll ever recover from. And
it's a bit of audience capture.
And, you know, you look at Josh Hogan and everything he said, and you know, the UFC went sports mainstream. You know, they were a fringe sport for a while. Then they became a mainstream sport. But this past weekend, when they went to the White House, they became mainstream. The View was talking about the UFC fights. Yeah. They don't do that.
People, it was something never thought of, you know, back in the day.
Exactly.
This would ever happen.
People, you know, the president had to address something that a fighter in the UFC said in a post-fight speech. The president was asked about this by like real reporters. People that never talk about the UFC are looking at the UFC and saying, "Oh, these are the tattooed racist skinheads that we always said they were."
And we were told, and then people would say, "No, you're mischaracterizing. There's something."
These are educated, respectful. That's what we said, because there was a boxing promoter. Oh, I wish I could remember this guy's name. But there was a boxing promoter who said, "Boxing promoter, UFC, racist skinheads." I don't know. Bob Arum. Bob Arum said in a 2009 interview.
Okay.
Bob Arum, boxing promoter, he said UFC events were for beer drinkers, skinhead white guys. Yeah. And I remember in 2009, I go, excuse me, pardon me, I don't like beer. I'm not a skinhead. I'm Jewish. I'm a white guy, technically, I guess, but, you know.
Some people wouldn't include that.
I wouldn't say I'm a skinhead. You know, he's like, all tattooed white guy, skinhead, Nazis. And in 2009, and, you know, Machida and George St. Pierre were around, and we're like, you know, John Jones was just coming to prominence as this young champion.
Sugar
like,
Rashad.
Yeah, we go, hey, you don't know nothing about the sport, man. But now in 2026...
that seems kind of...
chicken's coming home to roost, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what's happening. And now people, you want to be mainstream? Now you're mainstream. You were mainstream in the sports world. Now UFC, you're mainstream like the NFL is mainstream, like Major League Baseball, like the NBA is mainstream. And guess what? They all have
more scrutiny.
There's tons more scrutiny. They all have controversies. If a player says the wrong thing, they're in trouble. If a UFC fighter says the wrong thing, no one cares. The sports world,
no disciplinary action.
There's nothing.
There's no body of discipline.
Now, things are going to have to change a little bit. Maybe they won't, but if they don't, you're going to have a worse reputation than you already have.
Yeah,
the reputation for the sport of MMA is going to be in the toilet, because they're going to go, oh, yeah, they are all racist skinheads. And I am, you know, having a harder and harder time saying, no, you have the wrong idea.
And all it takes is one state to say, you know what, maybe let's vote to ban it again. And then it could be like, maybe it's too big to fail, but you never know.
Yeah,
maybe someone might, you know, if it's suddenly you can't do it.
Not with Trump in the White House.
Yeah.
But look.
If all of a sudden New York says no more.
Again, and like I think cozying up so hard to one side is dangerous, because when the other side comes in, guess who's out of favor? The UFC. You like all these laws are passing for you? You want to get rid of the Muhammad Ali Act? What happens when, you know, the Democrats eventually come back into power? Because it's always a cycle. It's back and forth. I mean, people think that Trump will be in power till he dies, and then J.D. Vance will. But, like, come on. It's still America. It's still a democracy.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, we could get into a lot more.
Yeah, I don't want to. Well, see, this is because I don't follow this stuff.
Yeah, no, there's
but what I
things
know,
kind of starting to happen.
What
that
I know,
might kind of dilute that vote.
Right. But what I know from experience is that politics usually goes, one side has it for a while, then the other side has it, and then they switch back and forth. You had George Bush. You had Bill Clinton, right, for like 8 years, and then you had George Bush for 8 years, then you had Obama for 8 years. Like, they went back and forth, and then you had Trump for 4, then you had Biden for 4, and you have Trump again. It's like they always flip back and forth, Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat. So you figure when the Democrats come back in, since the UFC is so cozy up with the Republicans, at some point the UFC will still exist as a company, and they're going to have to deal with Democratic lawmakers who may not be as in favor, you know.
Yeah, because, you know, like Dana White was saying, like, oh, you eat children or something. Like,
yeah, well,
weird,
whatever.
Freakish, yeah.
They might go, hey, something needs to happen with this, and we need to look into this, and
yeah, it's a lot. Like, they might
knows?
be held up to a lot more.
I'm just saying,
regulatory.
They're good now because life is good. Their boy is in power.
They got a blank check.
They have the power, but like long term, I wonder how this is actually going to work out for the sport and
The growing of the sport.
Yeah, the growing of the sport, because to me, you're turning a lot of people off, and you're turning people off that, should be fans like me. Like, I should be a fan. I should be watching these events, and I should be happy to do it, but I'm at a point where I don't really want to be associated with this thing anymore. It feels...
Yeah, because if you talk to people...
It feels unclean. It feels dirty.
People are more aware, and what they're aware of is, like, the grossest stuff. So if you talk about it in public, like, you're at a party with like, family...
I don't want people to think that I'm this or that.
MMA, they'll be like, oh, there's a lot of associations.
People will think things about me because I like cage fighting.
Yeah, because cage fighting has tied themselves to so many...
Which is so funny because for most of my life, I had to defend pro wrestling. Be like, you don't get it. Wrestling's actually not stupid. It's this, is that. And now everybody's like, yeah, pro wrestling's fun. It's just great entertainment. Yeah. And people are like, ooh, UFC, you watch that? Yeah. Now I have to go, no, some fighters, Cyril Gunn.
Yeah.
It's getting tough.
Yeah, pro wrestling has actually like gained a lot more of like a sort of progressive sort of image of just like, it's very campy. A lot of people kind of figure themselves out when they're young and they see these wrestlers. And they're like, I like to dress up too.
Well, that's another thing, about the growth of the sport of MMA. I don't really know if it's going to grow because they don't cater to kids at all. So the little kids aren't, that event was not suitable for children.
No.
Second of all, it ended at like 1 a.m. on a Sunday night when it wasn't even a holiday in the States. Like, what are they doing?
It was Trump's birthday.
They don't care about families. Like, they don't care.
Yeah.
And I think Eric Trump was trying to get inside information.
Oh, that was 100%. We didn't talk about that even like off camera.
We'll talk about it. I mean,
but that was 100% like true.
Yeah, and DC was like, uh-oh.
Yo, and like, I don't want to be part of this thing. Like, this is kind of weird.
How do you get hacked? And then 2 minutes later, you're like, yo, I got hacked.
Or something.
Yeah, well, what?
Yeah.
You guys will believe anything.
Yeah. It's like, uh-huh.
And then Eric Trump's like, oh, those were AI
bots,
bots. DC knew that, and that's why he deleted the post. And I'm like, oh, but I thought DC got hacked. Why are you telling me he deleted the post?
Yeah, it's
and
like,
DC's going,
hurry.
You people will believe anything, but aren't you the one? Because Eric Trump is saying you'll believe anything because he's saying that those DMs you got saying, yo, you want to know any about fixed fights? I want to make bets. He's saying that those were fake DMs and you fell for it. And you deleted your tweet because you realized that you had fallen for something. So which is it, DC? Did you get hacked and then regain your account immediately? Or...
like we've already kind of figured out these people are using
these people,
Polymarket and Kalshi,
or are these
to do
people
some kind of inside bets,
doing blatantly illegal things all the time, and when they get caught, which is often, they go, no, I wasn't doing that. It was AI or a hack.
You're a stupid head.
You don't know anything about, oh, how could you fall for that, stupid? And you go, no, you're stupid because you're so stupid. You think I'm stupid enough to believe your bullshit.
It's incredible. I love in the messages.
Eric Trump is such a slimy
I love in the messages where it's like, hey, do you know of anyone who has any injuries? And then he's like, I don't really know about that. And then he's like, well, what about like people, who are like trouble making weight? What do you know about that? They go, okay, here's the thing. I'm trying to make money on a bet. What do you know? Like he doesn't. Yeah. Like it's just like.
And now DC has.
I love that. I'm trying to make dollars.
A guy who went to the Olympics for America has
the president's son
has to hold water for your dirty, scheming criminal ass.
Yeah.
Fucking repugnant.
Yeah.
And this is why I cannot stand the UFC anymore. Because they would rather be in bed with these types of low-life fucks than show true respect for martial arts. And some of the true martial artists who don't know any better are getting co-opted by these low-life fucks.
Their credibility.
And their credibility is going down the drain because they are willing to be buddy-buddy with all these people because the power and the bright lights and the connections are attractive.
Wow.
GSP. You need to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, George. Where you at, George? Like, dude. Massive letdown.
Yeah.
GSP's going the way of Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
He really is, man. Like, come on. Like, yo. I don't know if there's been a bigger disappointment in retirement than GSP right now, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
I am disappointed in George St. Pierre and his sycophantic nature around the Trump family and all of their cohorts.
Yeah, it's a real
He is
disappointment.
extremely misguided. I think the aliens need to bring him back to the mothership.
He needs to get some orange juice.
And I'm not talking about Joe Rogan's Nazi comedy club. Fucking moron.
You know?
How did, like, the least funny guy on news radio wind up being the king of comedy?
I know.
Candy Alexander's funnier than he is. It's a lady.
Oh,
You-
yeah. I remember. She was on, yeah.
Fuck you. You don't know anything. Candy Alexander, you have no respect. Candy Alexander is a legend. She was on news radio. She was in
Was it
Treme.
character?
She was in CB4. She was,
CB4.
yeah, she was like a newswoman on news radio. Candy Alexander. How do you not? See, I'm
I
disappointed.
remember Vicky Lewis.
See, you remember the white people, you racist motherfucker.
I remember Stephen Root, the root of the matter.
Look at that, baby. Candy Alexander and Phil Hartman.
Oh, Phil Hartman.
Look at Candy Alexander and come on.
I haven't watched this right in a while. So
I mean, I gotta shout out Candy Alexander. Show respect. Lovely, beautiful.
Phil Hartman.
You know why I remember her from news radio? No, she was actually, her performance in Treme was unbelievable. Brought tears to my eyes. Tour de force, I would say. Candy Alexander, tremendous talent, but she's not a comedian. She's an actress. She's funnier than Joe Rogan is what I'm saying. So if you got the reference, it would have been better. But now I had to explain it too much. And now the show's over. Good night, everybody. Good night, Seattle. We love you. I will be back soon.
At the con again.
Oh, Angelo says she was also on ER. Angelo, my man. Thank you. ER. I have a friend whose initials are ER. And we've been friends since high school. And in high school, we were like, oh, when he comes through, we should sing the ER song. Me and my buddy, the big youngster. And I go,
the ER theme song?
The ER theme song. We're like, what is that?
Like, beep,
and I'm
beep,
like,
beep, beep.
I don't know. I think it's da 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 da. It was Law and Order,
Yeah.
but that's the only theme song we knew. And we knew,
yeah, that is the theme
and we
song.
knew that it wasn't the ER theme song, but it didn't matter. So then when ER would come through, we would just go da 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 da.
That's good.
We just swapped NBC dramas.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was good.
That's pretty good.
That's my ER story. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you, Jason, for your great comments. Just great stuff. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you and your support in my feelings on this, because sometimes I feel like, am I crazy? Am I just being overly sensitive to this stuff? But
am I wrong?
Am I wrong? But I talked to some of my friends who used to watch the UFC, and they all point to this type of stuff as why, one of the main reasons why they don't watch anymore.
It's interesting.
And I go, yeah, I get it. And, yeah, and it's, it's not just that. It's also, like, the fighters aren't as cool as they used to be. Like, the Diaz brothers don't fight anymore. Or they do, but it's not as good, It's just not as good. But I still like the thing is, I still do like the sport. I like MMA, and the fights I watched were pretty good last week. The Gane and Pereira fight was cool. The Gaethje Topuria fight was really good. Like, once the bell rings or the horn sounds, it's cool. It's just before and after, it's really bad,
shit.
and you got to sit through a lot of it.
Yeah, and oof.
Okay, well.
God
thank you.
bless.
Shout out to all the supporters that I'm seeing in the chat here tonight. Jason Pete, Angelo Contagonis, Kyle Salisbury. Shout out, Kyle. Good to see you, Kyle. And everybody else watching and supporting around the world here on the Ringside Report Network.
We appreciate your support. and you being part of our community. Share, subscribe, and join us again on the Ringside Report Network, the Combat Sports Authority.